All right, 3 goddamn minutes late. No, Rody, you don't
4
get a
minutes.
refund. Welcome back home, man. It's good to see you. Guys, this just in.
Hmm?
Petrifying Pumpkins.
What about him?
Sadistic PSVR cult leader.
Oh, you're starting to make this beef.
Yes.
Guys, we got to get some real beef brewing here.
We're going to start making hit videos on Petrifying Pumpkins, and then he's going to make hit videos on us. I'm not really supposed to say the plan, but
it kind of defeats the purpose a little bit.
What's up, Kyle PSVR? Hoplo, Kev, Brett, Rody, Johnny Right, Pop the Stray Cat, Meow, Stay Warm, Barber Cat, Robert Sullivan, Tristan, Sunshine, Happy Fun Times, Delayed Brain. I love that name.
That's my
Batman.
other channel. That's my other channel. I accidentally commented.
Delayed Brain.
Yeah.
No, Romeo, the
That's
Sweet
Japanese
Pirate
music.
Game Cat, Speedy Rebel, RC Windward, Gyson, Fist Bump to you.
Adios, mio.
Woody the Bluebird. Liv. Did I miss anybody? Trusquillion. What's
That's a
up?
cool name.
Still.
Trusquillion.
Tabloid. Hack. What's up, y'all? Welcome.
What's up, y'all?
Welcome, everyone.
What's up, y'all? Where's this music at? Let's turn some music up. Turn the music up. Here we go. I don't either. Here we go. This is PSVR Gamescast Live, where we film live every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. We bring it to you live because that's what live means. I'm usually just crawling out of bed because this is how my days work. So I'm Bryan Paul from this channel right here, Without Parole, and then to my far left, all the way to that side of the screen, that is AJ from not only this channel, but also PSVR Underground. AJ, how's it going, buddy?
Oh, awesome, man. We've got so much to talk about. I can't wait to jump into it. It's been a great week. As you say.
Your pirate call. I love it.
Good.
Right on. And of course, right, this guy here in the middle, this is Dave from Davestation VR. And what's your other channel? What's going on?
Oh, we don't have to talk about this too much. I'm not trying to self-promo, but I found this other Discord for a Japanese band that I like. And I think I've shown you guys before, maybe Number Girl. Mm-hmm. I really liked them in high school and stuff, but they're doing a reunion. And they hooked me up with this private server that had a bunch of rare stuff that I could download. So I started uploading concert videos and stuff on a second channel, just because I wanted to share with people. I've got like 70 subs already. It's pretty cool. But that's it. We don't have to talk about it anymore.
Oh, but, wait. Well, I'm really curious about this here. We got.
Oh my. Okay.
No, not you. I'm sorry. I swear I was listening.
I was like, don't dive any deeper. This is fine.
So I think the last time the three of us did a viewer takeover together, it's been we gave a shout out to I'm Batman, the Game Cat. Remember that?
Yeah. Now there's
for
another.
Sure. But I couldn't forget.
But then I just saw in the chat here we got Batman with 2 N's _ the Game Cat.
Yes.
So
maybe he's changed it up. He's trying to get a second shout out by looking like a different person.
I think we got a different Batman the Game Cat, which is
That's Batman.
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 I like PSVR.
And of course, every week on PSVR Gamescast Live, we sit around, we shoot the shit, we talk about all things PlayStation VR related, what we've been playing, what's happening. A little bit of housekeeping, of course, though. We want to make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel, click like on the video. You'll never hear me say that. I hate when people say that. It's just it's such a YouTube trope to say it, but apparently people tell me you have to say it or people won't do it, which is just shocking to me. It's like, how do we not know how YouTube works yet?
A gentle nudge, a little nudge. Remind them it exists,
Gentle nudge. Also, make sure you hit us up on patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
Thank you very much. Hit us up for $1 or more every single month. Especially, you definitely want to see this last week's episode of the Litter Box, which is Patreon exclusive. Des did announce that he is departing the channel. He gives some insight into that. I cry, #Bryan cries, and that's worth $1 right there. We've already got some plans in the works for what's happening to Why We Love after that, but we will keep you guys informed. And of course, we always tell the Patreon supporters first, because if you're going to give us money, well then fuck it, man. You get to the top of the list pretty quickly.
There you go. Right? You get that
so
first
it turns out Batman, the Game Cat, is a different Batman. He says, I'm a different Batman. So the first one was like Val Kilmer, and this guy is like...
Why'd you say it like that? Like, Batman, I'm a Batman man.
Because he's got 2 N's on
2 N's.
So Batman.
Okay.
It's a kind of Jamaican-ish Batman.
Don't make me look stupid, Dave.
Or like
Sorry.
German or something.
I can do that.
I
I'm
don't know.
very good at
It's
doing that
probably
by
still
myself.
just pronounced man, but I think it's fun to say it like that.
Batman.
Anyways, two separate Batmans. One of them is...
Welcome to the channel.
Yeah, for
There
sure.
we go. That's who it is.
Also, make sure you make sure you guys want to come hang out and go to Six Flags together. Six Flags New England. Yeah, you do. I know you do.
I'd like to. It sounds good.
Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Let's do that on October 19th. In case you guys didn't know, we are doing that
Sounds
on
good.
October 19th. For whatever reason, Six Flags has stopped responding to me in terms of like trying to get the discount. But you know, the plans were in action. I'm expecting an email any day now. I don't know. They've just been oddly quiet over the last few days while I've been trying to get in touch with them. However, that's beside the point. There's more housekeeping, right? Is there any more housekeeping?
Sign up for the Discord, everybody. Go to the Discord. It's a great place. There's a link in the description. We all hang out there all the time. There's people there at like weird hours, 4 a.m. You'll talk to somebody on there. It doesn't even matter. And meet up for multiplayer games, all kinds of cool stuff. So check it out.
Yeah, I find myself there at very weird hours. You guys can tell what hours I keep.
You were posting at like 5:30 a.m. this morning.
Yeah. So that's about when I woke up. I was actually awake from like 5 to noon today.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought you were about to go to sleep at 5:30 a.m., but I don't understand your sleep schedule at all, so it's fine.
I also don't understand my sleep schedule. I'm still a total mess, but it's okay. I actually, you know what, we'll talk about what I was doing at 5 a.m. later.
All right.
Guys, there's so much news I think that we got to get into, especially with like TGS that's going on right now as we speak. So maybe we should dive into that and just get the ball rolling.
A bevy of new trailers, all kinds of cool stuff.
That's exactly where I wanted to get started. So thank you for that, Bryan. Tokyo Game Show, as you guys know, is going on as we speak, and apparently people are having a blast there. They're showing all sorts of games. They're showing new trailers left and right, letting people demo new stuff. Death Stranding, Final Fantasy VII, all that good stuff. However, there is some PSVR being represented there, and that's what we're going to talk about because that's all we really care about. Besides,
don't tell me you don't care about FF7. You care about FF7.
I tried to keep a straight face. I couldn't.
Why do I feel like you scripted that and you have a teleprompter in front of you? It felt so like I'm ready for this. Here it is, and blah blah blah.
He actually prepared for the show, unlike the other two of us.
Yeah, no. If it wasn't for AJ, like this show wouldn't happen every week. So shout out to AJ.
True, actually, he's the glue. He's really the glue.
Just really excited for more PSVR games. And a couple other things that we get to announce. So let's go ahead and kick things off with some of the new games that were shown. Well, okay, so we've seen trailers of these games before.
Yeah.
However, they've released new trailers, and they finally showed like a little bit more gameplay, along with some of these games having some release dates finally. So we'll go ahead and start with Last Labyrinth, which we know is being made with a bunch of Star Power creators. Gran Turismo Sport, Ico, Last Guardian, all this jazz. And, it's going to be voiced by the main character is going to be voiced by Stephanie Houston, who was Quiet from Metal Gear Solid. And, I love, I know people are sometimes divided on these escape the room type things, but I'm interested in this one. I love the cast. I love the direction, the art design, everything, the music. So really excited about this one. And they have a release date finally of November 13th.
Oh, so not too far. 2 months. Pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 months away.
They have not shown anything in this trailer other than like some really nice graphics and like, some just I don't know. It seems like they really set the mood right. They're saying all the right things, but they are not showing anything in these trailers that makes me feel any better about the actual gameplay. Every single time I've sat in VR and had to direct somebody to do the things I want them to do, it has not gone well. So I really hope that they figured out some kind of system where it's kind of speeds everything along.
The only thing I'll say about that is I don't know if we discussed this last time we talked about Last Labyrinth, but the pedigree, the lineup of these people, like when you say you're working on games like Last Guardian, Ico, stuff like that, these people have, in some ways, frustratingly so, like in Last Guardian, but they've designed a really like deep kind of a connection between you and another character that you sort of control, but you don't have full control of.
Right.
And I feel like they're good at that sort of thing. Like the reason Trico is a pain in the ass is on purpose because a pet would act that way sometimes.
Right.
So it's like, I think they have a good understanding of the relationship between the character and another helper kind of character, because all their games are sort of built around that.
But didn't you find that frustrating in The Last Guardian? Do you think if Trico was a little more responsive, it would have been a little more fun?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel like to me that's part of why I like it. Like not everything has to be perfect for me to like it a lot. And so it's something that most people will see or do see as a failing of the game.
Right.
But to me it seems very intentional. And so when you go with what their concept was, it makes sense. Yeah. And it adds another layer of just like realism, I guess, or just something like to connect you with this creature, because like you have a pet, if you know out there you have a dog, he doesn't always do what you want him to do, but you love that motherfucker, you know. It's so it builds that connection. I'm not saying you guys have a dog, but I'm saying people in the chat do.
I'm saying if a dog didn't do what I told it to, I wouldn't love it anymore.
Well, but maybe Last Guardian's not the game for you, but I think
it turned out not to be. And as a huge fan of Shadow of the Colossus, but especially like I know everyone loves Shadow of the Colossus, but man, Eco is my jam. Like that was there was something very special about that. So I think, but you're right though. They nailed the duality of Eco and Yorda in that game, and so dealing with a character that you weren't directly controlling worked great in that game. So and I feel like maybe if The Last Guardian didn't resonate with everybody, they learned some lessons from that game. So,
yeah, well, I mean, you're not controlling a giant dog in this one, so I think
it's really
if it's a lady, it'll be a lot more reasonable to interact with her.
For me, there's a couple things I'm looking forward to is the atmosphere. I hope they really get the atmosphere right, and I love how some of the traps, like I love how you're sneaking around, and you know, a lot of these escape room, it's like, well, you just have to pick up this magazine and place it on this pedestal and then it'll open a trap door. No, these are like legit scary ass looking traps, and that's what has me excited. It's going to add to the tension of it. So I love how it's dark and it's kind of a little bit spooky.
It's spooky. I'll say what they haven't shown in the trailer is like does this girl like suffer like awful, terrifying, gruesome deaths when you screw up? Like, unlike Tale of a Fragmented Star, when you screwed up, you just had to wait for her to do the animation and say the same thing over and over, and that was frustrating. But if you tell this girl to be like, hey, pull this lever there, she pulls the lever and some spike goes crashing through her skull. Like, is that something that you're like terrified for?
That would be crazy.
I don't think so. I don't think they're going to do that, but that would be awesome because you are going to want to protect her at all costs, and like it's going to add to the tension. You know, the traps and stuff, like I said, they already look pretty brutal. So to actually go that next level and stuff, that would be insane. Yeah, I don't think so. I wouldn't expect that, but that would be pretty cool. I think just the fact that the traps look the way they do has me excited.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit, not in gameplay, but in concept of. Do you remember that series of PlayStation games where you basically just like create traps and try to kill people? Deception. Yes, I love those games. Yeah, I loved those when I was a kid. And like, if I'm on the receiving end of that in VR, sign me up. That sounds good.
Nice. Like, we'll keep that in mind. All right.
Yep.
All right. So November's not far. I mean, actually, the funny thing is I think all of these games have a 2019 release date, and which is craziness.
Yeah.
For the most part, I know there's a couple exceptions, but man, it just seems like the next. What month are we in? September, October, November, December.
They're definitely projected all of them to be in 2019. If they don't get 2019, it's because they get delayed.
Yeah, the next 3 months are going to be insane. This is great. Yeah. I'm so happy right now because it's not. A lot of this year was, you know, like, oh hey, there's going to be this game and that game and this game, whatever. And I was like, okay, some of them seem interesting and some of them don't. But man, I feel like the last quarter of this year is just packed with games I'm interested in. So this is really exciting.
So, do we know if Iron Man's 2019 for sure?
They've never said anything other than 2019, but they also haven't said much recently.
There's no date, but if they put it around Christmas and they put it in a bundle, those things will fucking fly off the shelves, dude.
Yeah,
for sure.
Part of me thinks it might get delayed, but yeah, if they try to make Christmas, that would be good on them. So next up, we have from Tokyo Game Show.
Man, this teleprompter is awesome.
Demo, which we've talked about before, is this rhythm. It's described as like a rhythm game. And they finally showed a little bit more in this trailer. A lot of this stuff kind of looks similar, but then they give you like a little bit better look at some of the menus. It looks like there's some cards that you mess with, a couple different like menu items, things like that. And then
in my experience, I don't mean to interrupt too much, but those cards that you were talking about, if they work the same way as that stuff does in their other rhythm games, like I'm thinking of Voez on the Switch that I've played, but it's a mobile phone game too. Those are little like story snippets, and there is a story in the background, but you learn it by basically completing a song. You unlock a little card, you look at it, and it tells you something about what happened. So I think that's probably how those will be used, the same way as it is in other stuff.
I hope so. The story and stuff kind of looks cool. I like that like creepy Slender Man looking guy that's like supposed to be your ally walking around with you. That's kind of cool. It's got like this another dark brooding atmosphere. But really, like, I'm interested in just the gameplay, really, the music and that Guitar Hero style gameplay. Real quick, shout out to Rody, the Game Cat, meow, with a $10 donation. He says, "I'm no Killicell, but have some pizza." And thanks again, Right Pop. Battlewake is a go.
Oh, nice. Somebody else has the sounds going. Nice. My phone's gonna die, so Bryan, you stick with the sounds over there.
Rodies, thank you so much, man, and welcome back from your long tour. It is nice to have you back. Another big quick shout out to K-Panic, the top 20 Game Cat. Ooh, that one was a little bit louder.
Was it
too
loud?
I liked it.
Was it good?
That was perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
Hey, Bryan, he says, ooh, I like this question. Never-ending Story or Temple of Doom VR?
Okay.
Ooh, Temple of Doom.
Listen, here's the problem, because Indiana Jones was like my favorite series of movies when I was 12, 13 years old, and Never-ending Story has been my favorite movie of all time since I was 6. So that's tough, but I will take Never-ending Story because I've always wanted to ride on Falcor's back.
Dr. Jones, Indy all day, baby.
Dr. Jones, no time for love.
For sure. Yeah. Can you imagine like whip slinging and then like going across a cavern or something, just like a big hole in the ground, and you're just like,
I'm not you up.
Yeah. Kalima.
That would be incredible.
Where's Jeremy King when you need him? Thank you very much, Rody and K-Panic. You guys are awesome.
So yeah, I mean, Demo, no. Oh wait, yeah. I'm sorry. We did get a release date on Demo. That's going to be November 21st.
Yeah, November's rocking this year.
Yeah, November's going to be.
We know for sure. So this is TGS. This is Tokyo Game Show. These are Japanese trailers posted on Sony Japan's page.
Yes.
Right.
Do we know 100% that these are U.S. release dates? That's
not problem. No,
we don't know.
We don't know. But usually,
Demo, we had a release date for, and I want to say it was definitely coming to the U.S. and I want to say November. So
okay,
we can't be sure for all of these, but this one I'm 99% sure it's day and date with JP.
That's good. Oh wait, get that sound effect out. Killicell 7777.
Kill's like not so fast.
$5 donation.
Says, "Don't worry, I'm here. Welcome, Killicell. We were worried."
There it is.
Okay.
Also, Bryan Shen Muso says, "I call my ship in No Man's Sky Falcor."
I saw that. That's why we love you.
Yes.
I almost called him by his real name, Shen Muso. It is. Yep. I'm really bad at that.
So next up, we have a game that I'm actually really glad that we got some more footage of, and that's going to be Space Channel 5.
Oh,
probably
I'm so glad too. Yes.
Most anticipated game of all time. I'll tell you what's significant.
I won't say that, but
this trailer. This trailer is that they actually show you a little bit more for those like me who never played Space Channel 5. They showed a little bit more like how the gameplay works, because we know that you're probably going to be sticking your arms up in the air, like a Dance Dance Revolution kind of thing is what you made it sound like. But now we'll have the one-to-one tracking with the moves, and we'll get to do different directions. But what I love about this trailer is that they show the way you interact in the game with not just like moving, but like you're dodging enemy attacks. And it's like, dance left, dance right, move left, move up, move down, duck. And it shows like this big monster like swiping at you in those directions that you have to dodge. So I love that. That already made me 10 times more interested in it now that I actually kind of know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like the only way you could really implement it in VR, because the whole game is what you're saying, but since you have a body now, you can actually duck and actually go right, left. So I'm picturing something maybe along the lines of like not just dance, but like more body focused than Beat Saber. Like your arm goes this way, your arm goes this way, that kind of thing. So, I mean, it could be exhausting, honestly, knowing Space Channel 5, you're constantly doing that shit. But I guess we'll see. It should be fun.
Good.
Yeah, I'm down. I mean, I don't have much to say about it, but I'm just excited that something Sega related is coming to PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like Sega has anything to do with this. It just seems like they just licensed out the name, and then these other developers are just being like, okay,
really?
Sega doesn't seem to have any part of it whatsoever, which is again fascinating. But also a little disappointing because it's. Hopefully this does really well, and this is Sega's way of being like, well, let's see how it goes without us having to put any time or investment or money into it, and then if this does really well,
and then get that,
we can finally get Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, well, Crazy Taxi is going to be really hard because there's so much licensing in that game. Yeah. You're taking people to the Nike store. You're taking people to Pizza Hut.
Yeah, but you can get new licenses. You can get new licenses, and you can get
blur it out.
I suppose you can.
New licenses, new music. But I mean, I love the old music. I want Offspring. You need that.
Just all Offspring the whole time.
You need that, right? You can't kick it into gear without hearing yeah. So that's but still, I mean, I'll take it. Give me a new soundtrack if that's what it takes. Give me new locations if that's what it takes. Don't worry about the old licenses. I just want dude. Drive Club, like driving in general in VR is amazing, right? But can you just imagine going all over over these huge jumps and just pulling on your e-brake and picking up these passengers? They hop in, they're right next to you, and you just take off again. I mean, in VR, that's just the most incredible thing I can imagine.
I would love to drive up the back of one of those trucks that always had the most convenient ramp. I would love to go up one of those or down the hill with the trolleys and stuff. It would be so much fun.
Yeah,
I think the only problem I was always crashing into everything, and I feel like in VR first person that's gonna be wild. Yeah. Like you're just gonna be like bumper car city. Like this is gonna be insane. But I hope it happens at some point.
All right, what's the next trailer we need to talk about?
We got another look at Throw Anything. Which we saw this before, and you guys kind of brushed it off a little bit, like, it looks like something maybe cool at launch, and I kind of agree. It looks like kind of a mobile gameplay wise, game depth wise. It looks like kind of a mobile game. I will say though, this trailer did make it look a little bit better, and the reason I want to say, maybe give it a chance is because I don't usually like these kind of games. And there's something about this. I don't know if it's just the zombies crawling at you and you have a whole bunch of weapons and different areas to throw stuff at them, but it looks a little bit better than it certainly looks better than what it originally looked. But, it looks like it could be at least an hour or two of fun. I don't know how much it's going to be, but, we'll see.
Yeah, if this is $12 like it is on Steam, then I mean, sign me up. It looks goofy. It looks fun. Not everything has to be like a 20-hour epic game. This looks fun for what it is, and the graphics do definitely look improved. Everything kind of looks improved over the last trailer we saw. So this looks nice.
It looks pretty good. I mean, it seems kind of like it would get samey, like you're saying. You're always just sitting on the side of a building shooting guys trying to come off the side, but. I like the art style, actually. It reminds me a little bit of like a better Just in Time Incorporated.
Sure.
It's got that really simple, cartoony, colorful look. But yeah, I mean, I could give this a shot for $12, honestly. Yeah.
And like how it shows like the arena and stuff like that, like, it's got these different areas, but they definitely touched up the detail and the smoothness on it. Because before it was literally like some Minecraft blocks looking thing or Just in Time, like you said. Just very basic and stuff. Real quick shout out to Carlonio Plum with the 3 quick donation, and he says, "Wait, is that 3?" And he says
euros.
It's euros. Sorry,
whatever the fuck they are. I don't know.
No, it's euros. You're right. And he says, "No Man's Sky Pro Patch, will it come and when? Thoughts?"
Yeah, there will be an improvement soon. They've already posted on their upcoming patch notes like stuff that they're implementing on the experimental branches that will get folded into PS4 updates. That they did some stuff with the anti-aliasing to make stuff less fuzzy. They didn't say a full-on pro patch, but this is actually good because it affects people who aren't on a pro too.
Right.
So you're going to get better graphics across the board, no matter which console you have. So that's good. I think pro patch will be later once they iron out the base.
It's going to be small things at a time, it seems. Last time they said, there were some graphical updates and stuff, but it really wasn't much. This time I'm hoping they're making it sound like in the notes that they listed that it actually will be a noticeable difference this time. So I think the main thing that going by the notes that it says is the blur. I think it's going to reduce some of the blur, and that's a big deal because it already looks pretty good, but it is blurry, and if they can reduce that, it's going to melt brains. It's going to look so good.
For sure. And I feel like Firewall already kind of proved that doing something with anti-aliasing as an option can make the performance a lot better. Like, everyone used to say Firewall looked fuzzy. Then they put in that anti-aliasing patch and it looks way better. Yeah. So if it's something similar, something similar to that would be great. I also want to say about Carlonio here real quick. He's our third Batman. He's got a Batman icon. His name's not Batman, but he is also
Batman loves PSVR. I got to touch on something real quick. Cats, I want you to let me know in the chat if this is something you've run into. I got to address this issue. I've never dealt with it myself. However, I've heard one person and now another, so I want to see if anybody else has experienced this. The other day, JD Malks, I call him, 1210, joined my game or was trying to join my game, and he couldn't join anybody. It was saying that he had to do some kind of upgrade or something to his account. I ended up being able to join his game, but then it wouldn't let him. So want to know if anybody else is experiencing that issue. Please let us know.
Is this the reason he sent me a text saying he had to reinstall No Man's Sky?
Yes.
Did it work after that?
I don't know. JD, did it work?
Weird.
But I have heard of one other person, I think it was RC Windward actually, trying to join me and say that it made them start a new game was the only way. And that their old save was saying something about next, No Man's Sky next. So it was really weird.
People playing on creative mode or some other mode? Because when you start a new... if you want to join somebody on normal mode, you do have to make a brand new save. You can't take anything from creative with you. So if they were on any kind of different mode, that's probably why they had to create a new one. Unless it is a bug, like you're saying. I don't know.
Yeah. Not sure, but that actually would make sense. JD, if you were playing on creative mode, let us know. But I have not run into that issue. A bunch of people I've played with haven't run into that issue, but I'm definitely looking forward to this patch, and I really hope. They did say that it's still going to have to go through certification, so it could be a couple weeks, a month, I don't know, probably at least 2 weeks, I would think, maybe, I don't know, unless we.
They've had a pretty aggressive update schedule, at least for the first week or two, and it seemed like that stuff got passed by Sony real quick. So hopefully, fingers crossed. There's been kind of a patch drought for the last week or two. I feel like they were coming really fast, and then they sort of slowed down the pace a little bit. But
maybe people at Hello Games finally got to go to bed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So Jason
Sean Murray put down the whip.
He says yes, he has to open the game in single player, then save, then he can join. Vox says you have to get in and out of your ship. So try that, JD, and we'll see if we can get that to work. But yeah, excited for that patch. That's a big deal, man. That's a big deal. Everybody's waiting on that right now. And,
yeah.
But yeah, back to Tokyo Game Show. Thank you, Carlonio, once again. Budget cuts was shown. There's a new budget cuts trailer. A lot of people are on the PC side say a lot of great things about this game. This trailer also showed some new gameplay and and this time I got a better look at it because I didn't really know much about it. And it showed like a little bit more action stealth gameplay and a lot more of the comedy. And I'm liking what I'm seeing. This is yet another trailer that added just a little bit more gameplay, but made me more interested.
Yeah. This is one that, man, like I just hope it holds up, right? Because this is one that I think would have been amazing early days of VR, and seeing what it's doing. I've known what the mechanics are for a while in terms of kind of creating these portals, like these teleportation portals, and working that way. I just hope it holds up. For a late 2019 game, it would have. I think it would have been amazing in 2016 or 2017. I just hope that the gameplay and the humor is, that still makes a good game.
Yeah, I feel like PC people sort of have that feeling about it too. Like it's good, but it's sort of passé at this point. Like it's not a hot thing that people are excited about or talking about. It's like, that was a good game, but now they're already releasing budget cuts too.
Right.
When they announced the first one for PSVR, they also announced the second one for PC, and it looked way better. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, I want to play that one. Why not just bring that one to PSVR instead? But,
Yeah, I just
PS5 maybe, probably.
Maybe. I just hope it means that we're getting both of them, It does seem a little strange to be like, oh, hey, you guys get the old one. Be happy with what you got. Like, all right, thanks. But I'm sure it's fun. Obviously these aren't $60 games. I'm sure it's gonna be like $20 or something, and it'll probably be a fun $20 game. But yeah.
I will say I did hear somebody from that played at the demo or whatever that the move controllers, like the implementation of it, wasn't the best. So it is something it is something to keep our eye on. That the the controls may have been quite a hurdle to overcome, and may have not been the most seamless transition.
Yeah, I mean, we've brought this up before, but anytime a game relies heavily on throwing mechanics, I'm wary, because very few games do that properly, and on PSVR especially, it's just hard to get right with the move controllers. I don't know why, but so it's almost all throwing knives at people, right? Like that's the whole, you throw portals, you
robots.
Throw knives.
Well,
robots. I'm sorry, but
I think when you're throwing portals, it's more like a teleportation mechanic where you hold down a button and you point to where you want the portal to go.
But the main combat is you pull these little guys out and you chuck them at somebody, and that part, if that doesn't feel right, it's gonna screw the whole game experience up.
Right.
Like
there are games that can do that, that have definitely done that. Besides Job Simulator, Sirento. Sirento, you think the throwing mechanic isn't very good at first, but then it's like once you get the little aim assist. I think for some of these, if there is a hurdle, just add some kind of aim assist to it, and get in the vicinity of the thing. But I definitely, the only one I don't like is I definitely don't like the super hot thing where you push it. You
push it through the air.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So that's not necessarily an inherent thing about Super Hot VR. This is why I say maybe the move controllers have something to do with it. Because on Quest, it is not that way at all. You throw things like in real life. But you've also got extra grip buttons that make it more like grabbing and tossing something when you release it. It feels more natural. And so I don't know why, but it just makes it a lot more seamless when you're trying to get that done. So we'll see. I mean, it might have great controls on PC, and then we'll get it, and who knows. But I'm still excited, cautiously excited.
Yep. No, absolutely. It definitely has a pretty good reputation. So I'm still excited to play it. It'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It looks like it's got a good sense of humor too, kind of Portal vibe going on. Like,
and that goes
very few games nailed that effectively. Like Promogun tried really hardcore, and I was just cringing the whole time. I was like, Jesus Christ, shut up. But this one looks like a little more competent at what they're trying to do, like tone wise.
I'm not usually the biggest fan of that kind of dry humor, like it's funny because it's not funny kind of thing. But we'll see. A couple of games, like I said, even Job Simulator actually made me laugh.
Oh yeah, that's a hilarious game.
They do it. If they do it right, it can be pretty funny. So we shall see. And I think that concludes our Tokyo Game Show wrap up for now.
Yeah. Maybe. Did Stumper get a release date?
I actually don't know if Stumper got a release date. However, I got to mention real quick, Stumper. Do you remember the developer's name, or is it just Stumper? But they've actually been showing some more music on their on their YouTube channel. So they have a YouTube channel, and they've been showing a couple more songs. And I remember Dave saying last week that he was like, the music, there's no rock, there's no metal. Well, I've got news for you, my friend. They've been adding a couple more songs to it. These are brand new, and some of them have like some good mixtures of like metal, rock, classical music. What is it, Dave?
Can I ask you something? Did we actually talk about this last week?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
I have no recollection of that.
you shouldn't ask me that question.
I think I'll just assume anything that we probably did talk about.
No, but you were right though. The soundtrack for the most part doesn't have. It's mostly like electronic. I said, well, if it sounds like cool video game music, at least it wasn't even really that. But these new songs, I gotta say,
we weren't talking about Audica. I think we were talking about Audica.
No, Dave.
Okay,
just stop while you're ahead.
I'll believe you.
No, but these new songs I really liked, and they're this crazy. I actually wanted to get Mr. Sonic's input on it and see what he thought of these songs. I just got tied up, but I commented on their thing and I was like, oh my god, there's rock songs in here, and they said something significant. They said, we're really glad you like these new songs, and prepare or like look forward to our updates that are coming soon. So
nice.
They're going to be adding more songs to it for the PSVR version, probably to the PC side as well, and expanding the soundtrack. And a lot of what I've heard, I really liked.
The gameplay didn't really grab me too much. It looks sort of like a box VR, but it's a real rhythm game instead of a workout game.
Box VR, Beats Fever, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the look of Beats Fever better than this actually, but we'll see when it gets here. I like rhythm games, so I'll definitely give it a shot.
See, the problem with the look of Beats Fever was that it had these like awesome looking backgrounds that weren't actually 3D. You know, it's just like, hey, here's a wallpaper for you to catch things on, and at least this is giving you like a VR environment to do this in. It's not a huge difference, but
I thought they had depth. They were flat images? I could have sworn you could see like the cityscape in 3D. I'm pretty sure it was.
They looked a little weird. They didn't look the highest.
It wasn't one of those flat 360 wraparound images though. It was something they rendered.
It wasn't that bad, but it was a little funky. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Like I said, the music that they're adding to it right now has my attention, and I will definitely post it in the Discord later for you guys to check out.
Geisen brings up an excellent point. Geisen, fist bump to you. He says last week's trailer for Stumper had girls dancing in it, and that was the topic of conversing when we just saw this girl's butt waving in our face like for half the trailer. I was like, oh yeah, no, they're totally fucking clueless developers. I love it. All right, moving along. Do I think we had do we have anything else?
We've got more to talk about, but that's I think most
I'm
of
just
it.
checking TGS. Yeah, that's all we've got.
Yeah, but hope they're having a blast out there. Tons of games to demo. Iron Man. What was the other one? Concrete Genie's being demoed. A lot of the stuff that's been demoed the last couple of weeks. So. We'll definitely keep an eye out for that. Just no new info on those ones that we already know. These actually luckily had some new stuff. Liv actually grabbed my Stumper comment, and it says, thank you for reaching out to us. Yes, we are getting ready to release this on PSVR by the end of this year. Hope you enjoy our game very soon. Maybe that's not the one I thought it was, but he mentioned updates about the music. So there's a game that was announced today. I don't think it's part of Tokyo Game Show. It just happened to be today. And I am very, very, very excited about this one. It is made by Oddbug Studios, the same people that made The Lost Bear, I believe. And they've always had a great reputation in VR communities, VR awards. And this one is called Carly and the Reaperman Escape from the Underworld. And I don't know about you guys, but this game is like instantly, I joke all the time with Bryan about my love for some more obscure games like Jersey Devil and stuff, but
I forgot about Jersey Devil. Holy shit!
I think everybody. I'm pretty sure I'm the last person in the world.
I remember now that you mentioned it.
But I love platformers with a passion. I also love cute, charming underworld. Like it's like dark, but it's not. It's dark, but it's not scary. It's like more charming, like medieval, something like that. And this trailer grabbed me instantly, and I am in love with this game already. And we got a release date for it for October 2nd, and I will be there day one.
Hell yeah. It looks gorgeous. I love the art design. I love the style of everything.
Just to clarify, it's Odd Raven Studios, and they have not made anything else.
Odd Raven.
Yeah.
Not Odd. Sorry about that. Sorry.
And it wasn't technically announced today. We've been talking about this game for a little while. I think we put it on PSVR this week about
release date
4 to 6 months ago.
PSVR
but they announced a release date, which is great.
Right. Right. And, this game has come along a little bit. It's got more polish. There's some significant things about it, actually, that I would like to add. They mentioned that this has single player and local co-op. So no online co-op.
That's what I was going to ask about, because it looks like in the trailers it's mostly asymmetrical local co-op. Somebody's on the screen, somebody's on the VR, which is always cool, but I didn't know if that was like the only option. So
it's not.
There is single player.
It used to be originally was local co-op only. It has since been changed to where you control from the view of the Reaperman, and then you'll be moving puzzles, stuff like that, and then you'll have Carly that you'll move around as well, and do like little platforming, different puzzle solving. I don't think you really do any attacks, but it's more like dodging traps and stuff. But there's also going to be unlockable hats and customizables. There's a little bit of a story. There's over 50 levels in this game.
Wow.
And they say 10 hours in some of the reviews. I actually checked out Ryan from the VR Grid, one of our good buddies over there, and he has a review on the PC side. And I like Ryan. He's a nice guy. And he gave it a pretty favorable review. And so he's not usually that critical on games. So I mean, no, I'm sorry. He usually is kind of critical on games, so it's nice. Some games. I know, Brian.
Isn't
don't
he
give me that look.
Isn't he in the Squishies camp with Will?
He better not be.
I think he's got a box quote.
Subscribing.
I think he's got a box quote. Yeah.
Well, he just likes having box quotes.
I'm just used to Ryan having a review of a game that I really like and him shitting all over it, and he was like, "This game's pretty good." So he's like, "It's a solid game." Like, it's got everything. It feels complete. He said about 8 hours. So this is a full length game, pretty much. They say 10 hours. So it's pretty much a full length game. So that's impressive. And he said on PC, it's only $20. So 8 to 10 hour game for $20 with local co-op. I probably will just play single player. But still, I am in love with this game already, and I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, Jason actually has something in the chat he mentioned, which I've tried with other games like this before, so I don't know if it'll work or not. But he said if someone share plays it, you can do multiplayer co-op. We've tried that with several. We tried it with Table of Tales, and it didn't work. We tried it with Angry Birds, the movie 2 VR, the game.
And we tried it with
whatever the fuck it's called, and it didn't work on that either, even though it seemed like it ought to. So I'm not really holding out hope that you can play online. I think
Medusa and her lover.
Yep, same thing. Yeah, so it doesn't usually work as well as you hope it would with the share play stuff.
You said squishies, and now Will is freaking out.
Yeah.
Did someone say squishies?
His ears perked up.
Will doesn't have a belly button. He has like a squishies button, and all you have to do is poke him like the Pillsbury Doughboy, and he just goes squishies.
And then he starts rolling around, and you got to blow on him.
And then I just slap the fuck out of him.
Oh my God! Run, Will, run! This is supposed to control a lot like Moss without the combat. So I'm definitely interested. Whenever you guys get a chance, go check out the new trailer they just posted for this, because I love the song in it. It's like some funky haunted music. It's right up my alley, man. It looks so fun.
Chris Bridson just said in the chat, he goes, "I just ordered Wizards. Is it any good? If only we did reviews on this channel." some sort of short, like, quick little video to help people decide whether they should buy things. Hopefully you didn't spend more than like $15 on it. It's a good $15 game. It's not a good $25 game. It's a wizard wave shooter. It's okay. Yeah,
it's all right.
And also, I agree with Nerfenstein, the girly gamer. Fatal Frame is so great.
Well, somebody asked earlier, Dead Space or Fatal Frame or Outlast VR, and I said I would say Dead Space. I know you would say Fatal Frame, Brian.
Of the three, Outlast would be amazing in VR.
Outlast is the one you're picking.
Really?
Okay.
Of those three, trust me, I love Fatal Frame, man. It is amazing. But man,
of those three, Alien Isolation.
but Outlast scared the crap out of me on a flat screen. And I can only imagine walking around like with holding the camcorder up to your head or whatever. In VR would be insane. Yep, absolutely. All right. Let's move on. What do we got next?
Are you excited to play that, Brian? Are you excited? His name Carly.
Carly, I mean, it's not iCarly, so I'm really just, so immediately the second I saw the trailer, I was like, it's not iCarly in the Reaperman, so I'm kind of disappointed.
I wonder if there's a PC mod where somebody made it iCarly in the Reaperman.
If that's a thing, I am abandoning this channel instantly and going to PC VR in a heartbeat. Fuck custom Beat Saber songs. Fuck everything else. fuck Skyrim mods. Right? All I want is an iCarly mod for Carly and the Reaperman.
Yeah. Next up, let's do. You want to do a giveaway real quick?
We always forget to do these damn things these days.
Let's give away since it's a little bit later in the EU. Let's go ahead and do the EU giveaway for Waltz of the Wizard real quick.
Sure.
We're gonna slow it down. Amnesia. Ooh, nice one. Secrets of.
Okay. Let's see here.
Clock Tower.
This copy. Random comment YouTube picker, and then I always go to the one that I think is Sandra Cries, but it's Sandra Series. Is that right? Yep. Here we go.
Sandra Series.
Absolutely.
Brody says, "Hey guys, you might want to discuss Battlewake before Clinton starts stabbing people."
We're almost there.
Okay, let's see.
Almost there, man.
Waiting for an EU. There we go. Here we go. Oh no, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Maybe you guys can help me. Joao. Joao Portugal.
That's a Brazilian, Brazilian name.
Joao Portugal. His PlayStation Network name is JMO Portugal. He says, "Thanks for the giveaway. Would like to win the EU version." Guess what? Joao.
You did.
You totally won. Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that name too. Joao Gilberto is the guy who created Bossa Nova, and I love that fucking guy.
Nice.
I'm gonna make sure I do not lose track of him, so I can send him the key later. And do you want to do the North American ones just so we don't forget?
Yeah. Screw it. Go ahead, do the North America.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna step away for 1 sec while you guys do that. Sorry, we'll be right back.
All right. So that was for the Waltz of the Wizard EU code. This is for the Waltz of the Wizard
North American key.
North America key. Good luck, everybody.
And to no surprise,
don't say it.
To no surprise, it is another Batman. It is a Batman kind of episode. This is MZ Batman. His PlayStation Network name is MZ Batman. And he wants the North American version. Lucky MZ Batman.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I will.
Where's the games going?
I will send you a message on PlayStation Network later and give you the key for that. Congratulations to both of you. Awesome Waltz of the Wizard winners.
Real quick shout out to Belramio, the Space Pirate Game Cat. Meow with the 35 donations says, "It is late and I gotta go. Sorry guys, I will just leave Brian's top 20 bribery money here though." There you go. I guess he's paying you off for putting Immortal Legacy on there.
I guess so.
Oh.
I guess so. Is that really loud? Is that super loud? Dave,
I don't know.
Dave seemed really happy about the volume, but thank you very much, Belramu. Much appreciated.
I'm sure the chat will let us know.
Did he change his name recently? Because I don't remember it being the Space Pirate Game Cat. Is that new, or did he, or am I just dumb?
That's been since probably No Man's Sky.
Okay.
Yeah, because it used to be Baba Baloo, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you guys enjoy Waltz of the Wizards. It's really short, which sucks, and the fun wears off fast, just like he says in the review. But it's fun for that.
Yeah, for 90 minutes, it's like really fun.
Yeah.
And actually, and it's fun it was fun for me to actually see the trophies up on the wall and see, as you're accumulating them, be like, here they are. They're actually on the wall, and you can use your spells on them. The spells that you're creating, you can pick them up and throw fireballs at them, or you can make them like super crazy big and stuff. So it's fun. It just actually got a huge patch, I think today or yesterday.
Oh, really?
And they actually, it didn't add any content, but it fixed a ton of issues. And so the whole thing should run a little bit smoother now and should work a little bit better. So, congratulations to our winners. All right, that was the first time we remembered to give away games on the show in like weeks.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Did I win?
You didn't win, Dave. I'm sorry.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe next week. PSVR next week. All right.
Oh, look, Secrets of. I'm sorry. I knew I forgot something. He says I still owe him a Saber key. If you still want it, I think I've got it in my email. I'll hook you up. Just remind me what your PSN name is.
You're not to be trusted, Dave.
If you want to give it to him, that's fine.
Nope.
That was like the 1 week where you were like, Dave, it's on you. And I was like, all right.
Well,
I forgot.
The developers gave each of us like 10 keys for Saber. And so like we were just like, what do we do with all these things? And like I was already giving away so many that I was like, I can't be responsible for your keys as well. So
but we give him out on your show, but go ahead. It's fine.
It's AJ's show. I mean, let him do the work.
That's true. He is he's the beating heart
Yeah.
of the GAMESCAST, I'll tell you.
Yeah. You're the beating liver. Pulsating. We call you the pulsating liver.
God damn it, Bryan.
Come here, Dave. Come here, Dave. Come here.
Last week was one thing, but I will say people have been complaining that I'm too sober this time.
Are you doing something about that?
Can't have it both ways.
Do you have something at the ready to take care of that situation?
Yeah.
He's like,
I
no.
could.
I
I
listen,
could.
listen.
I'm not trying to get trashed. You just gave me a hard time about drinking, so I'm not going to do it right now.
Yeah, whatever, man. I get to give everyone a hard time about drinking.
All right, we got to keep moving, guys, so we don't make Clinton come after us with a hatchet. Okay. So I want to say real quick, we've got some kart racing news. So Bryan, that should be your hint. And we've talked about how before touring karts, how much we're excited for that, and we still are, of course. And we cannot wait. However, it seems like it's going to be a little longer than we expected. They originally told me they were aiming for an October release. Now, yesterday, I think it was, I'm seeing they're saying about maybe even 3 to 5 months from now. So we might have to wait.
You know, when you say you're giving me a hint, right? It's like I've got the other one all set up and ready to go. But then you talk about touring carts for 5 minutes.
I'm talking about the other one now.
Hold on. So now I've got the touring carts chiller running, and so now I can queue up the other one for when you're ready.
No. Yeah. No, go. No, that's all. I just wanted to touch on touring carts, but now touring carts might have some competition. I don't think I don't know, but it's called Dash World, and really, it's a cutesy kind of kart racer, just like touring carts is. I'm hoping that this one comes out before touring carts, that we don't have to wait that long for a kart racer. We don't really have a whole lot of info on this. There is a beta that's private beta that's starting pretty soon that some people can sign up for.
PC, PSVR.
PC. Yeah, we don't usually get a lot of betas here, but they've shown off some screenshots, and while this one doesn't have really the visual appeal that touring karts does for me, it does have something different, which is like off-road courses, different looking tracks, which is more in the Mario Kart style, where it's not always a track like a circuit, or like a paved,
like an actual
roadway.
Racetrack.
Right.
Yeah.
This has like some dirt roads, some other ones. So I'm hoping there's enough difference here to, bring some good times, bring some fun. And, from what they've shown from the game, like it looks like it could be decent. I don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, we've still yet to see any good kart racing game, so I hope somebody makes one. Either these guys or, the other game we were just talking about. Like, somebody's got to make one eventually.
This is a weird-ass trailer, man. It's very short, so I've watched it 17 times since we started talking about it. But
I need to actually look at this thing.
But it looks like a kind of a CG representation of what the final game will look like. I don't expect that this is in-game footage. I mean, there's a lot of like facial animations. There's a lot of interesting camera angles and stuff like that to show off what they're showing, and none of it seems like actual gameplay.
So YouTube's not helping me. It's dash what VR?
Dash World.
Oh, not Revolution.
Yeah,
that was my first thought.
I think Geisen put a link to it in the PSVR news section of the Discord.
did.
What I'm hoping, like I said, I'm just hoping that this can give me a nice fix until touring karts, maybe even be better maybe exceed those expectations a little as well. I don't really know because I don't know what kind of controllers it supports. We don't really know a whole lot on the PSVR side what to expect. But I just, like you said, I really want a kart racer, and I don't think anything can be worse than kart racer or VR karts.
Yeah, probably not. Although I think we'd look at it a lot more kindly if it was $10 instead of $40 or $50, whatever it was when it came out. So
VR karts.
Yeah, if it was cheap, I think we would have been a lot nicer about it.
$5 for it, and I still was like,
Yeah, so
I've never played it. Actually, I've still never played it.
Oh god, I paid full price for it. God damn,
$40,
and it was and it was really disappointing. I mean, it was the biggest problem with VR carts is that it's slow. Exactly, and if they're doing that because they're scared of motion sickness, then touring carts guys. Ivanovich Games has it all over them. They're just like, fuck it, man. Let's make a fast game because that's what people want. And plus the power ups were really lame. It's like, you know, you come to a kart racer with certain expectations, and because Mario Kart and Crash Team Racing and Sonic Team Racing have done it so well for so many years that if you're not at least trying to mimic that style or do something better than them or take a different approach, then you've already failed right out of the gate. And they basically just took kart racing mechanics and had just the worst weapons and zero sense of speed. Like I was going up hills and just like kind of pushing myself forward, like just like I do with my Jeep on the highway. It's like I'm like because it's like a 4-cylinder, got no power behind it, and I was like, come on, everyone's passing us, and that's how I felt in this. And I was like, you should not feel that way in a VR kart racing game. You know? Right.
Yeah. And like I said, you know, what makes me hopeful for this one, kind of hopeful, is that it has a little bit more of a Mario Kart to it, which I'm hoping that pans out. So we'll see. Screenshot from the game. They do have screenshots on their site and stuff, and it looks pretty good from that. That's in-game screenshots. So
yeah.
I'm looking.
I want to say real quick on the side, as a side note here, Mr. Sonic's been hitting me up about this in the Discord. I don't know if anybody follows the Yakuza series, but they're got a new Yakuza game. It's a flat screen game, but there's going to be kart racing in that, which looks fucking bonkers, and I'm really excited because that game is like the closest thing to Shenmue that we have in this modern era, and it's so fun. But just if any of you guys play flat screen games, keep an eye out for that. Mr. Sonic was telling me all about it.
Excellent. I've had this burning desire to hook up my Dreamcast and play a ton of flat screen games.
Oh yeah, no, I need the cable because I don't have an HD like plug-in, and my TV doesn't have any RCA like the yellow, white, red stuff. So I'm kind of screwed at the moment.
I've got a VGA box that I convert to HDMI.
Nice,
and it looks beautiful on HD screens.
Is that the one you said you were going to send me?
No, that's the FrameMeister that uses the SCART cables. Totally different situation and way more complicated.
Okay, yeah. I'll still take it if you want to send it to me.
At this point, I'm just waiting for you to get here so I can just hand it to you in person.
Oh, I'll just take it back with me. That makes sense. Yeah.
Kind of sad news about touring carts being a little bit delayed. Not when we expected, but you know, hopefully, at least we're hearing good things from the beta on the PC side. Beta, it was supposed to come out, I think, this month. It might already be out actually, but yeah, we're hearing good things from there. So really excited for that. Yep. Brian, you totally could have been playing the touring carts trailer now, like 5 minutes ago.
I could have.
Yeah, we're done talking about it at this point, probably.
Also, happy National Video Game Day. Apparently, that's a thing.
Yeah, apparently that's a thing.
Yeah, apparently that's a thing because Twitter says it's a thing.
Like, what are we actually supposed to do differently on National Video Game Day? It's like, maybe I won't play video games today. That'll be different.
We're gonna. Anyways,
I'm gonna finally start playing Astral Chain again because I've been sitting on that shit for like a week and a half, and I mean to play it. So
I watched Giant Bomb play that, man, and I'm all in. I can't. I would love.
It's so cool.
I would love.
Dude, so you are a cop.
Clinton Moore with
okay.
$5 donation. Hey, to find my machete.
He's gonna. We better talk about Battlewake really soon.
We will. We actually. Were you gonna say something? I don't know what you guys were talking.
I was in the middle. Real quick side.
Are you talking about Astral Chain?
Yeah, you said it looked really cool. You're a cop in a cyberpunk future, and you have a mech on a leash, and you can use the leash to clothesline guys or like tie them up. It's so cool. It's really cool, and the music's fucking awesome. Anyways, I like it a lot.
We have some news to break here, guys.
Breaking news.
Yes, this is breaking news. Nobody else has this. This is exclusive information.
Exclusive.
It's not much, but our good friend Reggie Strange posted something on Twitter, I think earlier today, and
today. That's my AJ voice.
Today. And he posted a screenshot of the Honor and Duty logo, but it looked a little bit different. Would you say?
Yeah, it had some gears and it was blue in color, and yeah.
So, Brian, what? Go ahead, take it off. What is this? What is this thing that?
Tell him to take it off.
Take it off, Brian.
Take it off, Brian. Take it off. Here we go.
That was the
I almost thought you were gonna get
That-
this.
that was the creepiest laugh I've ever heard in my life.
Who, me? That's
No,
what I like.
I can't take it off. That's too much hair for any live show. All the cats would have hairballs for weeks. So basically, I was talking to Reggie, and I just called him. I was like, "Fuck it, man! I'm just gonna call Reggie, and we're gonna talk about this and hash it out." And so I was like, "What am I allowed to tell you? What am I allowed to tell the cats on GamesCast Live?" And he told me that it's okay to say that the Honor and Duty sequel is in the works.
Woo!
Yep. Absolutely, it's got a different kind of theme to it, which we're not going to talk about. It's still a World War II era shooter, but much different. And I know that so many people are going to be happy when he finally reveals kind of the theme of the game. They are the part that made me the happiest, though, and as great as D-Day was for multiplayer, the part that made me happiest was that they are doing this huge focus on a single player campaign. So. Because that's so far something that I think we haven't really seen from Strange Games. I can't wait to hear.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear my voiceovers.
I will say I hate hearing your voiceovers in Honor and Duty because usually I'm playing with you, and I keep thinking you said something. I'm like, fucking Christ, no, it's the game, it's not Bryan. And then you're talking over yourself. It's very confusing.
I like to repeat myself. I like when the enemy is not capturing your control point. I just like to say it to fuck with people. The enemy's capturing our control point. They're like, wait a minute, aren't you on our team? Why are you fucking with us? You're on your team. Yeah.
Excellent.
But so basically, the new Honor and Duty game, again, it's going to have this huge single player component. They are not ignoring the multiplayer, which is awesome news. Because being that. They're looking at like double the player base in the multiplayer section. So it's like, what is it right now? 16v16 in D-Day. So it's 32 players. They're looking for at least double that. And they're looking at like a fall 2020 release date, potentially being a PlayStation 5 launch title.
Nice.
I mean, can you imagine a Strange Games?
Put all that together,
right? Can you imagine a Strange Games studio? Like, I mean, because there's never a ton of launch games, right? It's always like between 10 and 20 ish, right? Can you imagine having like Honor and Duty, the new game, as this in the forefront PlayStation 5 launch title? Like,
honestly,
finally gets the attention it deserves, you know?
If D-Day was a launch title and there was nothing else for people to play like that, like, this game would be huge already, still would be huge.
Right.
But it came out kind of later in the life cycle when people already had their firewalls and their wipeouts and their other online multiplayer games they could hop in.
Right.
So if this launches and it's part of that stable of, like you said, 10, 15, a dozen-ish games, people will go crazy for it.
I'll tell you, I'm really excited about the single player aspect of it.
Sure.
As much as I love the chaos of having that many players in VR to play with, I am such a single player guy, and this game, like doing a single player campaign in Honor and Duty, sounds amazing to me. I cannot wait.
I have to ask, we heard in the past from Reggie about a single player DLC expansion to Honor and Duty D-Day. Is that still in the works, or has that been scrapped in favor of this new?
Honestly, I can't speak for Reggie on this one. I don't know what is still in the works.
Okay.
I know
Gotcha.
he has like a few things he wants to get done for D-Day before they can go full force into this new one. So that could very well be one of the things that they're doing.
And they're also remastering the original arcade edition, right?
Yes, I've actually got the trailer running here for the All Out War edition.
Okay.
And just if anybody doesn't know, the All Out War edition is going to be the remastered Honor and Duty arcade edition, and also Honor and Duty D-Day, all in one kind of like convenient disc, published by, of course, the loves of our lives. Yeah, I got the pluralization right on the last one. Perp Games. Perp Games the fucking bomb, yo. And we're gonna be doing some cool stuff with Perp Games over the next couple months. So keep an eye out for that.
Reggie's in the chat. He just said DLC is almost done.
Sweet.
Nice.
So, awesome. Thanks, Reggie.
You, dude. And
Looking forward to that.
Thank you,
for
Reggie,
sure.
man. That is awesome. Awesome. Cannot wait.
All right. So
only a couple more games, Clinton. Only like one or two more. I swear.
We're almost there, buddy.
we're just torturing him now for fun. Like, this is
I know.
entertaining.
But yeah. So, Bryan, one of your favorite games,
Resident Evil 7?
Probably what you would call,
The
I would say,
Persistence?
one of your favorite underappreciated games.
Not
Headmaster?
Immortal Legacy.
It's by Sumo Lab, and it's called Crisis Brigade.
Yes.
They have announced or shown some gameplay for the new DLC that's going to be the new update that's coming. It's a new level, and I actually really like the look of this one. It looks very Matrix inspired. They've got like going through where is that a bank? Where the building that they're in, where they have the big firefight in the Matrix, and on the top of the building he dodges the bullets. That whole scene looks like it's been recreated. They've even got like footage of a dude jumping out of a window onto a helicopter. So I'm actually really excited to check out this DLC update.
I actually don't have the video we're looking for. Ransom trailer. Here it is. Here,
Ransom. Yeah, thank you.
I didn't have that prepared. I'm so sorry. I'm bringing it right up, and it's this will be the first time I'm seeing it. It's only a minute long, so bear with me here while I get it into the stream, and then we can all watch it together.
Yes, and then you guys get to take a look at it. But I love the influence of the Matrix that it shows, and just this is a fun arcade game. That's not all though. Apparently, they are also working on a co-op update.
Nice.
And that is a big deal. I mean, this was already a big deal, but that's an even bigger deal to me.
A co-op update for Crisis Brigade 1?
I'd love that.
That's amazing.
I would love that.
They've got Crisis Brigade 2 in the works. They've got a trailer already, or a teaser trailer already out for it. And it's like you would think that they're saving all the multiplayer stuff and all these new levels for Crisis Brigade 2. But to see them supporting Crisis Brigade 1 so long after launch that it might actually intersect or overlap with Crisis Brigade 2 is awesome. Sumo Lab, and for anyone who doesn't know, man,
let me double check that too, just in case.
Okay.
I don't want to.
For anyone who
but
doesn't,
I'm pretty sure I just got to check Twitter.
For anyone who doesn't know, like Sumo Lab is a very, very small team. Like it's just a couple people, and so and they're putting out like really cool stuff. Trainer VR was a strange one. It was like the train set simulator. But I wish they'd give that a little bit more love because it was a little too expensive and a little light on content to begin with.
What I'm really waiting for, and what they said they were working on, and I hope they still are.
Yeah,
I hope they're still working on this. They said there was going to be a patch for Trainer VR where you could ride first person in the train.
That would be great.
And that's what I want to do. I want to make a train set and then get in that bitch and ride it, and that would be awesome.
Did you say I'm going to get in that bitch and ride it?
That's what I said.
I want to make sure I heard you.
My train. I'm getting in my train.
No,
we're going to go for a ride.
Listen, man, we're all on the same page. I just wanted to make sure I heard you correctly.
That is what I said.
I do like the look of the first half of this, at least.
One thing I want to bring up also in the chat here, somebody, Billy Goat, was asking, does anyone ever watch this in VR? Because it's an option on YouTube or whatever. And I was saying, actually, if you guys want to set up some kind of viewing party in VR, like if you've got a Quest, big screen VR would be a great place to like chill with other people and watch this live as it happens.
I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, so when it hits PSVR, I think you will be able to do YouTube on there as well. So in the meantime, if you have PC or you have a Quest, you could totally set up a viewing party, or we could set up a viewing party for you guys to chill and like be like in person, hanging out in a theater, watching the show when it comes on. So I've seen some other VR podcasts do that. It seems like a fun idea. So hit me up on Discord if anybody wants to try that out. We'll give it a shot.
Man, once big screen comes, we're gonna watch so many movies and stuff together. It's gonna be amazing. This is the update as per Reddit user. I've seen this like around. This was just the first thing I saw here, but Reddit user Krenny Lavitz says Crisis Brigade devs are working on new mission and co-op mode. New mission we know is Ransom, which should be showing now, hopefully. And it says Crisis. This is in quotation marks, so I guess he's quoting the developers from Twitter. But it says Crisis Brigade isn't finished. We're preparing another patch with the new mission, and also may include a co-op online mode. Can't give you an ETA, but we're working hard for it. Though we're a tiny studio, so to back up
very
what you're
cool.
saying,
I love that they've added so much like already to a game for free. I mean, they didn't charge us anything for it, so they're essentially tripling the length of the game.
Except they did charge us.
They raised the price briefly or slightly, like $1.50 or something.
Not to the ones who bought it already.
Yeah, I was saying if you bought it already, you get it for free.
Exactly.
So that's a cool thing.
So that's I want to reiterate: buy the game now Because if they're following that same business model by raising the price a few bucks every time they add content to it, then it's going to go up in price eventually. And so just buy it now while it's cheap, or get it on sale before the DLC comes out, and then you'll likely get the update for free. So.
Yeah, and even then, even if you do wait, it's still going to be $10-12 tops. I guarantee. It's not going to be like $30 all of a sudden.
No.
It's still a cheap game regardless.
Yeah, it still is. But I mean, like, buy it. Just buy it.
It's fun.
I'm looking it up now because
I think what I love about the idea of co-op, I think co-op is kind of a game changer for this, because so many people complain about the difficulty, and having some help in this. I mean, at least you get to struggle together or have some help, and that's going to make a huge difference in this game.
All right,
and it sort of plays into that time crisis feeling that the game is designed to give you, because in the arcade you can stand next to somebody and play it 2 players like every time. Right. So that should be cool. So
it was $6 at launch. It's up to $9 now, so probably we're expecting it to be $12
ish, something like that. Yeah.
And again, like,
still totally worth it at that point. Like,
I know some people. I've seen some comments from people saying it's like way too frustrating, way too difficult. The fact is ever since they rebalanced the difficulty, I think it's too easy, and maybe I've just spent too much time with it now. But I can beat the game on pretty much the first try every try. And that's not how it was at the beginning. Like, I couldn't even get past the first scene for hours, and it was so frustrating.
It was balls hard for sure. And the one thing that I don't love about the way they rolled out the second DLC stage, and I assume it'll be the same for the third one, is you have to reach a certain high score to unlock
50,000 points, I think.
Yeah, and I'd rather just be able to play it, like, because the game, like you said, at a certain point in its history was so hard that was difficult to get that score, and now maybe not so much, but still, like, locking it behind that could be frustrating for some people.
I want to give a real quick shout out to Mac Guyver's cousin, Hugh Guyver, with the $10 donation. And he says, to the PSVR without parole, pizza fun. Meow.
All right.
Meow.
Pizza time, baby.
All right. That was good.
That's fine. I love how loud it was.
Funny.
Just make sure everybody in the chat's awake.
What's wrong with you, Dave?
Thank you, Hugh Guyver.
He's like, hit me again.
Yeah, no, I love it. Turn loud sounds. I have the opposite of whatever PTSD is. I just want to hear loud sounds.
Clinton, I think we only have one more game to talk about. It looks like,
we've already lost him. He's gone to eat pizza now. He's like, sorry, you guys talk about pizza too much. I'm out. Yep.
We actually, this game was already announced and stuff a little bit while back, but we just never got to talk about it. So I wanted to just touch base on it real quick. And that's going to be Deer VR's new game, Blind Spot. And this was actually announced around the same time as Blindfold. And I really wish we would have talked about Blind Spot instead. But yeah, it's essentially, they've got some like little bit of gameplay footage or I don't know if it's actually gameplay, but they show like the world a little bit. And it's going to be kind of like an escape the room kind of deal. Really dark and brooding atmosphere, which I like. As you know, I like that kind of thing. And you're essentially going to be a brother and a sister trying to figure out like a history of something that has happened. And I got to tell you what I like about this is the look of the levels. The art style is kind of dark and cool looking.
Yeah, I just want to take a second to read some of the stuff from the Steam page about this, because it's interesting but delightfully Englishy. I'm not sure where this. I think Deer Games is maybe Deer VR is like a Chinese or a Korean or some company.
And they made, just to clarify, they made Code 51, which was the mech game that people played for a day, and then they also made it looks like the Kingdom of Blades.
Yeah, so
which
guys,
is actually kind of fun.
Just to back up a little bit, I checked the Steam page, and I thought Deer VR was developers, but they were just the publishers, and it's being developed by Unlimited Fly Games. They're not somebody that's made a PSVR game before, as far as I can tell.
Yeah. So,
well, that could be
it is waking up alone in the storeroom. The mansion you have been living with your father and younger sister is somewhat different from it used to be. The text message from the mysterious number makes you even more confused. And then if you scroll down a little bit, it says, key features, story-driven journey. Immerse yourself in a story about psychological disorder. Follow your heart and decide what is the truth in the end. So I'm in. I think this sounds fun. I want to.
It sounds like a total Davestation game.
Yeah.
Some silly.
I have lost interest, yet I am really interested in seeing you play it.
I will.
So-
I'm actually going to start using my channel again.
So a couple things about this, and the first is that, I mean, it looks like an escape room game, right? It seems like here's a mansion, here's a bunch of rooms, here's a bunch of puzzles in each room. Good luck, fucker, getting out of it, right? And so I'm like, okay, that's cool, you know, but is this going to be better than like 13 floors? You know, is this going to actually be it's going to be like
Probably
cohesive, and is one room going to connect to the next? I don't know how this is all going to go down. It looks like there's full locomotion, which is already better than 13 floors because I had teleportation.
Yeah.
But there's one thing, and this is maybe just a personal thing. I wish Dear VR would stop tweeting about this game until
Are they
out.
tweeting? I gotta go look at this Twitter now.
If you look at their Twitter, if you look at their Twitter account, every single day it's like more pictures and more screenshots and more locations, and I'm like, I think you've tweeted the entire game. It's like it's like a trailer that goes on for 17 minutes and tells you the entire movie. You're like, no, I don't want any more. This is supposed to be a game about like mystery and solving puzzles and like kind of figuring things out as you go. And I'm like, I've seen too many of the locations now. I'm like, guys, just stop. We're interested. Stop.
Oh wow! They also put similarly like kind of silly Englishy little things above each screenshot.
Yeah.
They say the crow statue comes alive. It seems to be seizing something.
It's like, why are you telling me this? Like, I don't want to know. Like, I'm almost to the point where I want to unfollow them on Twitter because I'm like, I don't want to know about anymore. I'm already interested. So
it says blind spot screenshots. It is a good. I can't even read this sentence. Hold on. It is a good idea to bury the secret in a vast collection of books, but is this my father's intention? I don't know what this is about, but
yeah, I have no idea.
My favorite one. It says there's a little GIF, and there's a guy turning the safe, cracking the safe, and it says EMM, comma, looks like I have to find the password first. PASSWARD. I love it. Sorry, I'll shut up. We can continue.
You do not have to shut up, but we do have to do one thing real quick here, and that is to announce Nihilist Ryan, the game feline, with the $5 donation, saying Blind Spot makes me want 7th guest in VR.
Ooh, that's a throwback, isn't it?
It is. It is. I'd rather have like Phantasmagoria in VR, right around the same era.
Was the 11th Hour? Was that also another one?
That was a sequel to 7th Guest.
That's what I figured. Okay.
Yeah.
I was talking to Rhodey about Phantasmagoria recently. God, I wish I never played that game.
Why?
It was just
you didn't like Sierra's venture into full motion video?
It was. It actually scared me a long time ago. But
yeah, FMV games can do that. They're scary bad sometimes.
Spooky.
All right, guys. That concludes it for the news. Thank you so much. Now, let's talk about Beat Saber.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Damn it.
Okay. Let's humor Mr. Clinton more. Earlier this week, we got Servios's new game, and it is called Battlewake, and it is a pirate arcade sailing adventure fighting thing. And yeah, I have lots to say about this game. I've been playing it for several hours and having fun with it. But please, let me hear what you guys have to say and whatnots.
All right.
I want
to start it off, Bryan?
I want to start off by just make kind of a clarification, or at least an addendum to my live streams, because I was having a frame hitch issue that apparently no one else on the face of the planet was having with Battlewake. And you know, I deleted the game, I reinstalled it, I deleted my saves game, I deleted the game, I deleted a ton of stuff from my PS4 Pro to kind of see if that maybe would help. I tried everything I could think of, resetting, unplugging everything.
The rebuild library thing, because that helps sometimes.
I didn't do that, but
there's an option in system settings you can rebuild it takes like a minute or two. It's really quick.
I'll give it a shot.
It helps sometimes.
But the only thing that actually worked to get rid of the frame hitch issue was to disconnect my PS4 from the network and go offline completely. The game was like, "Oh, you're offline," and I was like, "Yeah, but I want to play." And it's like, "Okay." and there was no problems. So I don't know what it's. Obviously, I have a great internet connection now. I mean, you guys saw some old live streams. I had some really bad internet issues, but now I have a great internet connection. I have no issues whatsoever. I'm getting amazing upload, amazing download speeds, and so that's not it. But being connected to the network was causing some issue. So I'm curious to know if anyone else out there is having this problem, or if somehow this is just isolated to me. And that's as much as I'm going to say about that right now, because I'd like to figure this out before I review the game. The last thing I want is to be reviewing a game and having a bunch of frame hitch issues in the review when no one else on the face of the planet is actually having this problem. And hopefully Servios can figure this out.
Worst case scenario, we can send you footage because, I know of the three of us, you are the only person who's had this issue, and people on your stream were saying
everybody else.
I've never seen this before, so
yep.
I don't know what's going on with your PS4, but it should be. Most people shouldn't see the issue,
right?
And if you do, let us know though, because we'd like to know if we're reporting it as a bug or whatever to devs, if it's just Bryan or what's
that
going
would be
on.
insane. I've never encountered something that just
you,
one person experienced. So I don't know, but anyway. So moving on though, Battlewake came out. $30 is about 25 and change with the 15% launch discount.
Yeah.
Obviously, ship to ship battles. It's kind of half hero shooter, half arcade co-op game. Competitive aspects to it too. I don't know, Dave. What were your first thoughts on this?
I was surprised initially at how well the ship controls. It feels so, and the thing is too, the tutorial is really short. It's like 1 3 or 4 minute mission. And you just learn everything really quick. And it's so simple and fun to move the ship around. You've got a lot of maneuverability, almost like an unrealistic amount of maneuverability, because you've got these 2 anchors that you can pull. They're like e-brakes or handbrakes.
Yeah, for sure.
And your ship just has a hard-ass turn. And it really helps when you're sort of doing that back and forth and positioning yourself, because this is one of those games where half the battle is positioning yourself so the weapon you want to use is available, because you've got the front of your ship with initially machine guns or something like that. The side is usually a cannon, a broadside kind of thing. And then the back can either be a mortar or an explosive barrel or whatever. And so you have to be in the right spot adjacent to these people to use that stuff. So a lot of it is just thinking about, how am I going to turn my ship to come up right next to this guy? Or the funnest part for me is just fucking ramming into a guy full speed, because that is so effective and it's so satisfying. Oh, joystick
guru! Because I'm so frickin' late. Bryan, Dave, GC, and Katz, thank you very much for the $2 donation, man. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah, that puts pepperoni on the pizza.
Dave, sorry to hijack your.
Oh no, I was pretty much done. I'm just saying I love the controls. It feels great, and it's strategic in a cool way, even though it is arcadey.
Yeah,
you got to think a lot about where you're positioning your ship and stuff. So
I love
it. I'm really into it.
I love the DualShock 4 controls work great, right? It works exactly how you think it would be. L1, R1 control those anchors, the e-brakes, whatever you want to call them, and it just feels really, really good. But then when you use the move controllers, it really takes it to a whole new level, because you got one hand on the wheel, you got another one pulling up an anchor here, and you're turning to the side, and you're basically drifting across the ocean and then positioning yourself as you were talking about. And it just feels so good. And I think that's something that doesn't translate to a live stream very well, to tell people just how amazing the controls feel, right? I think this game would be nothing without the controls.
Yeah. I mean, that's your interaction with the whole game top to bottom is how you control the ship, and it's great. It works well.
Unbelievable.
I got to get in on this, man. I got to
what you got to say? What you got to say?
I could not agree more. We were all talking about, before this game came out, it's Servios. They're going to use their fluid locomotion mechanics, blah, blah, blah. How are they going to do the controls? It's really weird. How are you going to put sprint vector controls? I'm a huge fan of sprint vector. Everybody knows that. Lots of game cats love that game. How are you going to put these kind of sprint vector controls into controlling?
Wasn't that the Walking Dead game?
Well, this too. They said it for Battlewake as well.
Okay.
There are some for Walking Dead as well, but it's they're going to have different options for that.
Optional,
one. So,
yeah.
But I was a little disappointed with the controls in Creed. I love the boxing, love everything about that game except for the having to move and do the cha-cha to be able to do it. And then of course the sprint vector thing when you're already tired from throwing punches all day. But what you guys said is exactly what I was thinking. being able to control a giant boat and drift, like there's like they'll shoot like some bombs, something in front of you. They'll have this red marker indicating that, hey, if you're here when the thing crashes down, it's going to hit you. So you can just grab these chains and you can completely do a quick drift, and it feels so good. You can shoot in front of you. You can shoot. I literally stuck both arms out to the sides and was shooting to my left and right to 2 different ships, and I'm just like, like this is amazing. And then if you're facing back, you have I'm a little excited about this game, if you couldn't tell. When you look to the back, then you have this other special weapon that you can use, but we haven't even gotten to the special attacks. Each character, there's 4 different characters. Diego, and big shout out to the guys I was playing with last night. I was playing, of course, I played with you gentlemen first. A couple GameCats joined in later, like Diz and Yuki. But big shout out to Livinator, Justin. No, Justin wasn't there, but Wonder Rob, Big Fat Frog, Anti Kyle, Void Citizen. Thank you.
But I played with that same crew, and Justin was there for a while, so he might have been in and out or something.
He's played this a bunch, but
a ton of people in there.
But man, this is my favorite game of Servios since Sprint Vector. And like I said, each character has they always, when they get the art style right, man, does it look good. I love the way Sprint Vector looks. I love the way this game looks, much more than Battle Blood, which is also a pretty good game. But this one just grabs you right away. And each character is kind of different. They've got Diego, they've got the squid octopus chick who does the Kraken, and so each character they have a square attack where it recharges a little bit faster, and it's kind of like a super move. But then you have each one also has a big like summon ability, something really big. And for like Diego, for example, his square move is a boost. And like you said, Dave, when you boost, there is nothing. It is so satisfying to boost as fast as you can and just ram the hell out of these other ships. It feels so good.
And it's so effective. Unless it's a boss or something, that's like a one-hit kill. You just destroy that.
Right. It just explodes. And then, you know, he also has like the Cyclone move where you can spawn a water spout or whatever. And, you know, what's cool about this is it's not just like it appears and that's it and it does damage. It's like it picks the ships up and you're like, holy crap, like it'll get really close to you and fly right by your head. And then they'll just explode in midair. Shit goes everywhere. It's so amazing. One thing I thought was funny, like there's also the other characters.
Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Between sentences, get a good breath in.
This is all for Clinton, but you know, the other characters, I do want to go through the characters real quick, and they're special.
You can put away the machete now.
This teleprompter's going like a mile a minute. He's like,
so then there's the next character, which is the Squid Lady. I can't remember their names.
Squid Lady's a great name. I like that. Let's go with that.
I don't know. She looks awesome though, and that's another thing is you do have the full body, so you're controlling the ship, and you can grab the wheel from the top of it. You can grab it from like the little bars that connect it. But you know, she summons a Kraken. She'll either summon a tentacle that'll come up and go, and it shoots so high up in the air. And when you're playing multiplayer, you can see when other people do it. So you just see these tentacles flying and splashing around.
Yeah, and there's like tornadoes everywhere. It's
tornadoes.
So cool.
It just looks so good. And then, of course, the best looking thing in the game is that Kraken. When you summon that Kraken, it is huge and it is really polished and it's pissed off. And you can, there's like missions where, you know, there's of course missions where you just attack like other boats. There's missions where you attack bases, defend bases, bosses, stuff like that. So you can literally just summon that Kraken in the middle of anything and it'll just rip it in half. Yeah. This is what I want to know. You guys, I don't know if you guys were the ones that said some people were not a fan of the skeleton guy, the captain with like the skeleton kind of look Chuck.
Haven't really used him because I didn't unlock him in the campaign. The way the campaign works, by the way, is to get the characters for single player or whatever. And for some of the multiplayer missions, you have to actually play through the single player campaign, which you can do with a friend, so it could be co-op. But I actually never tried the skeleton guy yet. He's still locked for me.
I know a lot of people were saying that they were like, oh, they're all good except for the guy. This is my favorite one.
Really? You like him?
he shoots bones. He's my favorite one. He
shoots bones.
He shoots bones.
Okay.
Like giant bones. That,
I'm in.
you know, there you go. But no. But his little mini attack special thing is the ship that he's in. It fills up with spikes. I reference Beetlejuice, where somebody tries to pick up Beetlejuice in the movie, and he has spikes pop out everywhere. So it does that. So as somebody's trying to ram you, which they do, you can hit that spike thing, and it does damage to them, and then it explodes. And he also does this for his super special thing. He like shoots this crazy wave of spikes, and it like pierces the ships, and it lifts them up into the air.
It's just the spikes just aren't.
I didn't know who was
when you have the Kraken with the tentacle and the actual Kraken that comes up out of the water and stuff, or when you get the water cyclone and whatever. Like I think the reason people are so down on the skeletons because neither the special nor the ultimate are visually impressive. It's just like, oh, here's some green spikes. You know.
On the flip side, the character himself is the most visually exciting in the lobby. If you're sitting in a lobby, that dude looks awesome. We were just like, oh, that's so cool.
I actually didn't. I thought visually, the attacks looked good. I was thinking maybe because they're more short range attacks that you can't just spawn like stuff way far away and do stuff like that. I thought maybe that was the reason, because his are more short range, but they're stronger. And there's always characters balanced like that in different games where, there's the big guy who's strong but he's slow. There's the little person who's quick but they're weak. Stuff like that. So I kind of saw like a connection like that, but. And then the final character is all about like doing tsunamis and stuff and tidal waves. Shoots a wave.
Which are crazy. Like when you get caught in one, your whole ship does the like you would expect if you're on the ocean and a giant tidal wave comes. It's really cool, that feeling of like it's kind of like when you bumped me in the ass really hard, AJ, and I just fucking like flipped over almost.
Yes, yeah. When the ship the game is pretty smooth. They didn't go too risky with it, but there are moments where there's a big wave or when you get rammed or something like that where your ship flies up in the air and you're just like, whoa, like you feel that. And that's one of my favorite moments.
Getting caught in the tornadoes and stuff is really fun too, even though you're getting messed up. It's like this is kind of cool. I like this.
All right, let's talk about the different modes for a second here. If you guys...
I was just gonna
I was thinking it too.
Dave, you want to take the lead on that then if you were about to do it?
Yeah, sure. So there are three modes total. And the first one is campaign, obviously, which you can play single player or co-op with 2 people only. And that one is 20 missions, and each 5 are a different captain. So you start with Diego, and then you go through and unlock more as you go.
And I got to say, as far as the campaign's concerned, I mean, it's very almost like Sirento, like where it's like, oh, here's some random voiceovers to kind of like make it seem like a story-driven campaign, but really, it sort of sets the tone for the entire game to let you know, hey, this is all it's going to be, right? There's nothing more than like ship to ship combat or ship to fort combat. This is all it's going to be. Don't expect anything more.
I agree, but I would say I feel like this is a little bit more like it gets you into it just a little bit more. Like I want to said, and I love how like before you start a mission, how it's got like whatever the ghost of Shambhala or whatever, and then it's got like the guy narrating the thing. But no, I totally agree. It's another deal like Sirento. I don't know if it's because it's pirates or what. It resonated with me a little bit more.
So is this now your favorite pirate game on PSVR instead of Table of Tales?
This is 110% my favorite pirate, and I've got more to say on it. But please continue with the modes.
Oh, right on.
So then we've got Warfare, which is a mode that you can play with up to 4 people online, or you can play solo if you want to. And that's sort of like increasingly difficult waves of missions that are kind of randomly generated from a grab bag of things. Like Bryan mentioned, attacking forts. You might have to defend a fort. You might have to blow up treasure ships within a certain time frame that are like marked with gold on them and stuff. So there's a few different missions they kind of rotate between. But I really enjoyed that a lot. I'm a big co-op guy. It doesn't really get hard. And somebody was talking about this in the chat until the later stages. Like we started dying around 9 or 10, which is like we'd been playing for like 40 minutes or something before we started dying. So They are going to tweak the difficulty. It sounds like I think Kyle was mentioning they're going to patch that up a little bit.
He's mentioned two things. There's a water patch coming, something to.
Oh yeah.
And I was talking with them last night because I was playing with them, and he says that graphically the game looks the same on PC except for the water, and not just the way it looks, but the way it moves around and everything as well. And I was also talking with Cloak Reaper recently, like. Water physics and stuff like that is one of my favorite things. One of the first things I look for in a game. So it looks, I don't want to give people the wrong impression saying that there's a patch coming for the graphics, because the graphics look really good already. But
I was already impressed with the water physics.
But I think adding that little extra patch of graphical fidelity to the water and stuff will bring that like jaw-dropping factor to it, which I'm really hoping to see.
Yeah, no, that's anything to improve the water is going to be exciting. Just because the physics of that make a big difference in your gameplay, you have to sort of, if there's a wave coming or if there's wake from something, like you would in a real ship, you sort of have to maneuver around that stuff.
So as far as this kind of the endless wave mode is concerned, which one was that called?
Warfare. I like this one because you can upgrade as you go and you get different weapons and you can change your loadout. So there's kind of a loot based thing to it where like, I got this cool new cannon that I haven't seen before. And in the PvP mode, you can't do that. So it's nice to have that freedom to sort of customize, and you find cool new stuff where you're like, that's the thing I want. But then you upgrade your levels for health and attack and magic as you go through as well. But
then we got, I think we're all in agreement that we got to a certain point where we're like, okay, this is, we're fine, we're moving right along. And it wasn't until level 10 or so that it started getting difficult. And then there was kind of a huge difficulty spike. And you're sharing lives? Is that what we decided? That you're sharing lives? We shared
lives. And the weirdest part of it is if there's one life left and someone dies, they don't just sit out for a minute. Everyone's out. Yeah. So this is the most confusing design aspect to me. Because like in any other game where you have shared pool of lives, if someone's still alive, you don't cut them off.
Right.
You let them keep playing until they die. Right. And there was like when we ended up losing was just basically because one of us died. The two other ones were just fine. We could have beat the guy probably, but that's how it works.
Yeah.
Unless I wasn't the one that died, because I had a full bar of health. The reason I thought it was me that died was because I saw myself get hit. But it was kind of strange that it was really easy, and then all of a sudden I get shot by something from a really far distance. And it I didn't see any warning, anything. My health was completely full, and then it was like, you're dead. So I don't actually know.
Maybe I died. I don't know, honestly. One of us died. Maybe it was me. I'm not sure.
I thought it was me because I saw myself get hit right at that point. But then I had a full thing of health, so I might not have gotten hit. I don't know.
Yeah, well, so as the difficulty thing we've mentioned before, but is like a weird spike because when you die, it's all of a sudden, and it's not like, oh, I'm in this long fight where he's chipping away at my health and I've almost got him, but he's almost got me. It's like you get hit with one attack from the boss. You could just die immediately and just be like, what the fuck was that?
See, that all depends, though, if I was the one that actually died. If I was the one that died, then that would be true. However, a lot of things that after playing more last night, it actually seemed more like it could have been somebody else, and that their health was going down. Because when I got hit point blank by a boss attack, it took off 50% of my life when I was playing by myself or with the cats.
But the real problem with this is that like it just seems like I don't want to play 9 easy stages to start getting to the challenge, right? To be like, okay, this is where we died last time, because it's not like it takes a little while to get there, and which it's pretty easy just to go through the motions when there's not a lot of difficulty, and so it just feels like the difficulty spike kind of ruins it for me. I'm like, okay, like I don't really feel like doing this again and seeing if we can get further. It just
So this isn't an opinion that I think most people share, but this is how I feel about it. I always love co-op stuff way more than PvP. And so to me, just the experience of doing this fun thing together, even if we're not getting our asses kicked or if it's not that challenging, I still have a good time just because it's like something that I enjoy doing with friends. And we're hanging out, we're upgrading our stuff, and the gameplay feels good. It's just, it gets suddenly hard after a while.
Right.
So if it was a more even kind of curve for the difficulty, I would
slow climb. Yeah, because you have those upgrades. I'd like to see as you progress, as you add those upgrades as you go along, the enemies get more difficult. You kind of have to strategize. You want more attack? Do you want more defense? Do you want more weapons? Whatever. Yeah, I mean, personally, this might not even be a problem here pretty shortly if they're patching in a difficulty thing.
Yeah.
So this isn't going to actually be a problem for much longer. So, but I gotta say, man, I had one worry about this game, and I was like, how long is this game going to last before I get bored? And that's really my only worry for it is, spending $25. Right now I've played probably around 8 hours of it. And my only concern was that, but to be honest with you, man, like so far, like I'm still enjoying it. Like I still want to play it some more. There's still stuff I want to do in it. And like I said, especially I enjoyed the single player by myself. I was having lots of fun. And then, I really want to grab these cats that I was playing with last night and see how far we can go on the wave shooter.
Yeah.
The PvP does not interest me at all. I'm not a PvP guy.
Well,
I don't think the PvP just didn't really.
What's the PvP
I played
mode
some
called?
more. It's called Plunder.
Yeah.
And it has up to 10 players.
I love Plunder.
I like it. I played more after you guys played with me.
Right.
And I was in there with like Yuki, who's in the chat right now, I think, and like Juice and some other people.
There.
Jason was there. And it was a really good time. Like, there's quite a lot of shit talking to be had. It's fun. And it's not so one-sided. Like, you can, even if you're not great at it, you can still get some kills in. And it's fun to play regardless.
Oh, yeah.
The only problem is that in that mode, there is only one stage. It's a massive stage, and it'll take you sometimes like 20 seconds to find somebody, because there's all these little caverns and passageways and stuff you got to go through. But I would like to see some more variation there, because in the other modes, there are 5 stages at least. And AJ, I think you said you see different portions of them in each chapter or something. So I like that variation. There's like a volcano world.
Yeah, there's a good variety.
World, forest world. There's like all the different biomes you would expect. Whereas the Plunder mode is just that one stage, which kind of sucks. But it's
the forest one. It's just that forest one every time.
Yeah, we played like 6-7 games in a row, and it just every time was that stage. So I hope they add more. But they do add free DLC a lot. Servios is good for free DLC. So
that's what I was going to say. When it came to Sprint Vector, when it came to Creed, they always added at least 2. Actually, Sprint Vector, they added 4 characters. They added the rock guy, the cat, the doctor, and then the 2 announcers. And then they added a couple more levels.
Too, right?
So
yeah.
I would expect this game, I would expect them to keep supporting this game for a little bit, to throw in another character soon, to throw in another level soon. I would totally expect that to happen.
I definitely. I mean, if they don't support it with like a ton of DLC, I don't think it has a ton of lasting appeal. Here we are. It's Thursday. It came out 2 days ago. So we're not exactly in the best boat to really say. Boat. I know.
I was just gonna. I didn't know what to say, but I
boat
acknowledged it.
Yeah, but yeah. So we don't really know. Right now we're still like super hyped on it, and it's really fun, and because it's so much fun to navigate. Navigate the waters with the move controllers. It feels great. It's fun to play, and I don't think there's a better feeling than seeing 9 other people out on the open seas that you're competing with at the same time. You see the names above them, and when you recognize somebody, you're like, I'm fucking going after that guy.
I also love when you're playing co-op and stuff, you can see each other on the ship, and like I was
stuff.
Yeah,
that's super fun.
Rob, we were both playing the campaign co-op, and we were touring it as the Diego brothers. Like we were like, the Diego brothers are coming and stuff, and you can wave to each other and stuff. And Dylan Gladstone Geox says something that I know I'm freaking out over this game because I like it that much. However, he says stuff like, I'm going to wait for patches in the sale. That's cool. But he says, if it was a pirate adventure where you could explore towns and islands, get in sword fights, and JD even said, I wish you could board their ships. That's the thing about this game, right? Like, I love this game for what it is. But you just think about, like, Servios and the way how fast they make these games. And as quality as it is, it's like, man, if you could imagine if they spent another, like, if they spent more time on it, maybe spent 2 years making this game, added just a little bit more like adventure to it instead of making it like a really fun arcade game, it could be like almost a system seller. I mean, if they really expanded on it a lot more, because what's there is fantastic in my opinion. I love the gameplay so much, but even stuff like Sprint Vector had like, before it got the DLC, it still had like 13, 14 levels at first or something like that. At least like 10, 11 levels that it started out with. It had like 6 to 8 characters starting out with. This is like a little bit less than that. And, you know, that's a little bit concerning, where if somebody asked me, hey, should I buy this game? You know, if it had the amount of stuff that Sprint Vector did, the challenges, you know, this has like some good mode stuff too, but 4 characters, you know, 4 different characters. And to me, it's just like, if it looks fun to you, like if the idea of sailing on a boat and that feeling you do and some really kick-ass gameplay, then yes, absolutely. If you want to have the feeling of being some badass pirate on the water, absolutely. If not, then to me, it's like you just, wait for a sale. But it's, when I say wait for a sale, it's like wait for any sale that it gets. Like,
it's already
currently on sale, right?
It is technically already on sale. You know, I think 30 may be a little bit much for it. I think I'd like to see it around the 20 range, but I
didn't mind paying 25. 25.
I didn't mind either.
Super good in my book.
I was not complaining, trust me. And the thing is I was concerned about how long I could play this before I get bored of it. And like I said, I've already put about 7 or 8 hours into it, and I still want to play it. So as far as I'm concerned, 8 hours and stuff, I'm already getting my money's worth at this point, and I still want to play it some more.
Yeah, and that's not a complaint that I have, because this game knows what it's trying to do. And Servios, like, so in Sprint Vector, if someone had said, oh, this would be so much cooler if you could just decide to go away from the track and explore everything on your own and do extra stuff and go to a shop and talk to some guy, like, that's not the game. It's a racing game. Right. That's it. It's an arcade-style racing game. And so this is an arcade-style battle game or co-op. I don't think it really, for what it is, it doesn't need the ability to land in a town, and that would be a totally different game. Right. It would be a totally different game, and for what it is, it's very solidly delivering what it's trying to deliver. And if you want a game like Sea of Thieves, where you can actually go explore on islands and get off the ship and all this stuff, it's not gonna be that game. That's not what it's supposed to be. And I don't know how they would have pulled off something like that and made it as good as it is right now, because it's a $25 game. You're not going to be exploring an entire naval universe just going around fucking looking at shit. Like, it's very well done for what it is.
Servios makes arcade games. Looks like that's what they do.
They do.
And they're really good at it.
Before it hit PSVR. Right. It's been out in VR arcades for like a month or something.
I still would have liked, like I said, I'd still like to see game, but what is there is fantastic. I mean, like I said, the art style just grabs me right away. The character models, there's so many little details in this game that are just so awesome. And like I said, I was not complaining last night when I was playing it. I was just like, wow, this is really awesome. And I could go on and on about the little things that are in this game that are just so cool.
Yeah, I actually had another point that I wanted to make too about the expectations or what could have been more or whatever. You're saying in Sprint Vector there's all these different characters. That's one thing, because in that all you do is design a character model and that's it. That's the end of it. They have no different functionality. They're just exactly the same. So with this, they're all different loadouts. They all play differently. They have different special abilities. So
they play very differently.
I think the 4 there offer way more variation than anything like Sprint Vector, because it's just the same guy no matter who you pick.
Not to mention the 4 ships. There's 4 different ships to choose from as well. So that's,
and you can mix and match in the PvP mode. You can choose one captain with a different ship, so you get a different ability set. So.
Right. No, I agree though. Yeah, in Sprint Vector it was definitely just cosmetic, and you know, if not that, the voice acting was different. But other than that, like, they all were the same. I mean, that was a racing game, so they kind of had to be. But
for sure,
but yeah, these definitely feel a lot different, look a lot different. The moves, everything, I love. There's different special moves and stuff. The voice acting, you know, I do wish there was like a little bit more story. I was kind of excited to see like but it is an arcade game, and I'm just glad that they did have at least what they have.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I ignored all the story that was there, anyways. It's just little
really
text boxes. I didn't care. I just played the game. I loved playing the game, but
I
Jeremy's here. What's up, Jeremy?
I was really interested to see what up, King. But yeah, overall, I really, really like this game. I like this game. I'm enjoying it more than Creed. I'm enjoying it more than Raw Data. I think somebody asked me between this and Sprint Vector, that is tough, man. I mean, do you want to? That it's really hard. I don't know.
They're both great versions of a different genre of game. So whatever you feel like doing. If you want to race and you want to get a workout and sweat, fucking Sprint Vector is great.
Yeah.
Battlewake is a totally different thing, but it's very satisfying. Just the feel of the gameplay takes barely any time to get down, and it feels effortless and awesome. And you're a badass. You're floating around, blowing everybody up. It's cool.
The gameplay is so good, and just the feeling of being on a ship out in the waters like that is great. If they get these difficulty patch, this graphics patch for the water, and then throw in another character or two, absolutely worth all $30 if it's back up in price at that point.
For sure,
it will be absolutely worth that.
Yeah, great game.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like I enjoyed every minute I spent with it, but I don't see the I think next week, like once my review is done and I've moved on, I think I'm gonna feel like I've moved on. So I'm gonna be really high on this for about a week, and then I think when I'm done with it, and then they're gonna announce some DLC. I'm gonna check it out again, and then I'm gonna be done with it after a couple hours.
To be honest, Sprint Vector was the same exact way for me, though. I loved it, but I don't play it anymore.
My only problem with Sprint Vector is that it's a workout.
I know you do. I'm just saying I didn't.
So I think I would still be playing Sprint Vector if I could just drop into it and not have to get a workout when I play. Because sometimes you want to play a kart racer or a racing game, but use a controller and not be moving your arms and sweating at 3:00 in the morning right before you go into bed. It's so I think that's the only thing keeping me from Sprint Vector on a more regular basis.
People play Beat Saber all the time. It doesn't affect them too much. There is a way that and that's what somebody asked me last night. They were like, "Do you like this or Sprint Vector more?" That's a tough question because, like Dave said, there's totally different games. However, I have to give the edge to Sprint Vector just because of the only problem I have with this, like I said, is the longevity of the game. It's just like you mentioned. You feel like you're going to have this experience with it more than a deep, fleshed out game. And I think that's what I'm trying to put an emphasis on, is it's such a good experience. But it's such a good arcade experience. It's not necessarily the best, fleshed out depth kind of game that it could be, which I thought Sprint Vector did have a lot of depth and a lot of longevity.
How is it any deeper? How is Sprint Vector in any way deeper than Battlewake? It does one thing, more it well. Levels. That's the only thing it does.
It had more levels and more challenge. The challenge levels. I've got the platinum in Sprint Vector, and I put a lot of hours into that. And minus the multiplayer. I'm saying without the multiplayer. What's going to keep this one going right now, because you can get through the single player in this in about 2 hours. And that's kind of a problem, because you play through each character in 2 hours. That's not that's not each character is 2 hours. It's the entire campaign with each character is 2 hours. Sprint Vector was
there's no campaign in Sprint Vector. You're just racing on stages.
No, but there was the challenge levels and stuff. And
fair enough.
And I spent 7 hours alone just getting the final trophies in that platinum. That's
because you're a crazy person, AJ.
It was 7 hours in one take two. Oh my god, I was in so much pain.
I can imagine. Jesus
Vector
Christ.
For 7 hours straight.
I think comparing these two games is pointless. No offense.
Yeah, I think so.
The only thing they have in common is that they're made by the same developer, and so
right.
And even somebody asked in the comments last night, they were like, "Oh, should I get Bout of Blood or Battlewake?" And I was like, "They're two radically different games, to the point where you can't even compare them. The only thing they have in common is that you're on a ship. They don't even control the same. They don't feel the same. You got to compare apples to apples.
I still like this a lot more than Bout of Blood. And Bout of Blood's a good game, and It's pretty
Yeah.
pretty underrated
Well,
game.
But
That's
I feel like
that's
it's-
one of those ones that has the depth that we say that we want, but it's
Right.
so deep that it's kind of off-putting because it's not immediately satisfying. You have
Right.
to really get to grips with it, and there's more to it than you'd expect from looking at a trailer. Whereas this is just straight up, you hop in, you start shooting guys. It's very immediately satisfying.
Right.
Battle Blood's a slow burn kind of a game that you have to really be in the mood for.
Right.
I think the comparison that I think the conversation that should be had instead of comparing apples to oranges is the conversation of why Survios games never makes it on our top 20 lists.
Right.
Right. That's the real conversation here, because I think
that's our fault.
I don't think it is.
I don't know.
I
I'm
think
not sure.
I think,
Maybe not today, but I mean, like, and they have made your top 20 before. They've made Sprint Vector, Raw Data. Both of those have made your top 20s before.
sure, but
Just a lot of games have come out since.
yeah, no, for sure, but I think that actually has a lot to do with like the longevity of those games. When did those games make the top 10 list, top 20 list? Probably soon after they came out, right? We were all still hyped on it, still playing it, and then who's going back to these? A lot of people. I know a lot of people are still playing Sprint Factor. Don't get me wrong; it's a great game, and I think Survios makes nothing but great games. But the problem is the lasting appeal, and the problem is like there's just if Dylan Gladstone got the game he wanted and it was a full-fledged $60 game and you could actually go on land and talk to people and do these different things and make it more of a full-fledged game. I mean, we'd be talking about Battlewake for years instead of weeks.
And that's what I want to see. I know we're not there yet. But I absolutely love what's in there right now. But that's what I want to see from Survios. I want to see them commit to a game.
You're not going to see that. That's not what they do. They've never done that.
Right.
That's not their lane. People have different lanes. So you don't ask the House of the Dead. You don't ask the House of the Dead developers to make something that isn't House of the Dead, and you don't expect that they will.
You don't expect that, no.
Yeah,
but
so
they've also delivered like Overkill, which had like way more than it should have had, like or needed to have. It could have just been a rail shooter all the way through, but they actually had like these big cutscenes and all this. This doesn't even have cutscenes.
Wasn't Overkill by a different developer?
Overkill's not a Survios game.
No. I'm saying like Overkill compared to House of the Dead.
Game.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
It had to have been because it's so different. It had to be.
But that's I'm not putting Survios down. That's what I'm saying.
You can't expect a zebra to be a giraffe. That's all I'm saying. Like it's
why not
it's one thing or the other.
Why not?
If it's a great zebra, I fucking love that zebra. And if it's a well-priced zebra, I'll buy him and I'll take him home and I'll play with him. Here's my hope.
Here's my hope. And Coach Reaper kind of says this already in the comments. I want them to keep up this dev cycle for their arcade games. If they're able to pump one out every 6 months, and they've probably got a shit ton of money rolling in, because of the cost it takes to make these games, and in the turnaround, it's all working in their favor. I'm sure.
I hope so. They definitely deserve it.
But Walking Dead is going to sell a shitload of copies regardless of how good it is. But because it's just a Walking Dead game. So
but what they need, I think, especially next generation, is be like, hey, we've got this core team that's doing this, but we also have this other team over here that is maybe using assets from the arcade games, but they're on a much longer dev cycle. They're making like this bigger, longer adventure, because I really think a studio like Survios has so much talent and the ability to make amazing games that it's almost mind-boggling that they don't have something bigger in the works, right? And I'd like to see something bigger from them.
Though.
No,
I think they have a concise vision of what the games they want to make are, and other developers can take that place for them because other developers do want to make giant games that have all sorts of shit to do, exploratory adventure.
Few and far between.
Yeah, well, and right now they are.
Is like killing it with every game. I want them to kill it with a bigger game. Yeah. If this is all working out for them, hopefully they can add more people to their team and split them off and keep doing what they're doing, but with this bigger project in mind. I would say once again, I never would
maybe that's something to do
against House of the Dead. I would never say House of the Dead needs to be bigger. It doesn't have enough stuff. I want this version of House of the Dead that's different. If it's an arcade game, it's an arcade game, and if you can play online with friends, that's even better. But like. I wouldn't expect them, and I don't want to put on them this expectation that just because they're talented at one thing, they should start doing something else. Why not just keep giving us awesome, polished, well done?
That's what I'm saying. They should, but they need
let somebody else do that. What you want, like some other developer that's more in their wheelhouse. That's what they want to do. That's their vision for the game. Let them do it.
I am a little curious if this has anything to do with something they learned, because Raw Data had co-op, it had all this extra stuff, or did it have extra stuff? It had a lot of issues.
Raw Data had co-op, or no? It had on PC. It had co-op.
It had co-op, and then it didn't, and then it had like awful blurriness to it at first. That got fixed, and then it had a bunch of bugs. So I wonder if they've said, okay, let's tighten it down. Let's try and be a little bit, just more tame, a little straightforward. And maybe that's what they've been doing, and it's been working for them. And, I don't know. Maybe I'm just curious if there's a reason that they're sticking to this arcade stuff, if that's just like what they're good at, what they have the size of
I think they're getting better at it. I think they're getting better at it because like you said, Raw Data had multiplayer on PC and they stripped it out for PSVR. This game is exactly the same on PSVR as it is on PC because they were able to figure out some way over the years to get a 10-player multiplayer working, to get a 4-player multiplayer working, to get a co-op campaign working. And so they're getting there, and I feel like if they stick with this lane, they will be at a point where they make very polished, very fun-to-play games that the multiplayer is...
The co-op is a great idea. The co-op campaign and the co-op wave shooter is a really, really great idea. That, for me, is going to make it go a lot longer.
So what I want to see is them to continue to do what they do well and just get better at it and add more things. Because in a way, we say it's not expensive, but the previous games didn't have 10-player multiplayer and shit like that. I mean, Sprint Vector, I guess, technically has like 8, something like that. 8, so still better. But they're moving in a positive direction, I think, with what they're doing.
I think so, too. I think, like I said, this game has me excited. I'm fired up.
Yeah.
Because this is honestly my favorite game of theirs since Sprint Vector, which was was that a year ago only?
It must have been longer than that.
No, I think it was the beginning
of a year ago.
Yeah, it was February.
Time
it was
flies.
Before Moss. It was right before Moss. It came out, and it came out of nowhere, and it blew me away with it. I bought a PS4 Pro because of Sprint Vector.
Well, shit. I've never heard anyone say that before.
I think Raw Data is still their best game. I don't think I'm with Dave when they say they're getting better
they're
as
so
they go.
Good though. Their art style and stuff is always so good. I mean, I agree with you that it could be arguably their best game still, but I don't. It's not mine. But.
I think they've probably learned to streamline development cycles and do what they're, as you said, do what they're best at, and not try to do more. And I think Raw Data, they were trying to do quite a bit. And they were able to pull back from that a little bit and pump these games out every 6 months. So again, it is working for them. When I see a talented developer like this, and I go, oh, this game would be so much better if it just had a little bit more. I'd like to see games that have a little bit more. That's all.
I think they will give us a little bit more for free too, though, because they always have. They have invariably every game they release gets some free DLC.
I mean, you got to think too. They're working on 2 games right now too. They just released this one.
Yeah,
they're working on these games on multiple platforms. So good on them for this. This could have been a complete train wreck, like Supermassive Games, who couldn't handle the pressure of 2 games that were, not even of this caliber game. Right. And so really, if you think about it, if you realize what's going on behind the scenes and how much they're dealing with right now. Like, they're doing an excellent job.
In all fairness, the Impatient and Bravo team are both doing more than Battlewake is.
But those are much worse games. Wait, hold on.
They are much worse games.
Bravo team doing more. How is Bravo team doing more
I would say
than Battlewake is?
How is Impatient?
No, I don't agree with that at all, man. I'm sorry.
So I mean, how many levels did Bravo team have? How many different environments?
They all sucked. I didn't like them.
Whoa. We're not talking about the quality of the game. We're talking about the content, what's in the game.
Well, but
the game's doing more.
Quantity is not better than quality, dude.
But that's a different conversation. That's not the conversation we're just having.
Different conversation. Quantity-wise,
when you're comparing these two and you say the difference is this had more levels, that doesn't mean shit.
I don't even think that's besides the point. I don't even think it had more. It had the campaign of Bravo team took me about 2 hours to beat. The campaign took me 2 hours. That's the same. But then there's the multiplayer mode. Then there's the PvP. So as far as I'm concerned, this has more content. And then the only thing Inpatient had over was maybe the graphics, but that was another hour and a half, 2 hour experience of just walking around.
How are these more expansive than Battlewake? I don't understand how Inpatient could even conceivably
I love
be
that
considered as somehow more expansive.
I love that the stream health just shit the bed when you guys were super loud for a second.
Adamant.
Yeah, but it's all better. Everyone's
Kev
back.
Gret has a good point. How many levels does Heavy Fire have? This is the stuff you're talking about here.
Heavy Fire has like literally 3 environments.
Okay, well,
and each one has a day and night
just
cycle.
because a game has stuff in it doesn't mean it's a good game or worth comparing to another game.
I know what he was talking about, but it's I still just don't agree. Like I know what he was going. I don't.
Yeah.
think
It was a hot take. It was a hot take, Brian. I don't agree.
I'm right and you're wrong, but there's no reason to fight
No.
about it. When you look at the levels, in Battlewake, okay, it's a bunch of fucking water. And it's maybe some rocks and like shit in the water in a different sky, different kind of like idea. But man, you go and I don't fucking hate many games more than Bravo Team. But when you go through Bravo Team, those levels are they all look. The levels themselves actually look really nice. The stages look good.
They're all the art design is fucking shit in both of those.
I don't agree.
Especially
But
in
what
Bravo
about,
Team.
you say
Bravo
there's water. Hold on, Dave. You say there's just water and rocks. What about the glacier level? What about the tree level?
Those glaciers are white rocks. Volcanoes are red rocks.
Those are more visually stimulating and exciting to look at. They look better.
Sure,
Bravo Team was boring and gray and bland and stupid looking.
And
so was Inpatient.
But there's these crafted levels where it's like these the detailed
I feel like
environments.
You're trolling. I feel like you're trolling.
No, I hated the game, but man, you can't ignore like what was actually there. As far as like there are actually big levels, big stages. Like were they fun to play in? No, man, but they definitely took more time to create than
that's what matters. Just because it took more time to create and there's more there, if it sucks all the way top to bottom, who cares? What the fuck's the point of playing it? Like, this game is fun every second you're playing it.
I'm just saying,
from the start to the finish.
If you're comparing Servios to Supermassive, here are the difference. Here are the differences.
You compared them. I didn't compare
No,
them.
AJ compared them. He started this bullshit.
Okay, well, I didn't do. I don't know.
What did I do?
Fucking you opened this door, now close it.
K-Panic says Resident Evil 7 only has one house, so not enough
That's
levels.
also not true. It's a fucking ridiculous statement.
He's right. There are multiple houses.
There's
the DLC
houses.
with like separate areas completely.
And there's a whole fucking cruise liner. And like, what is he talking about? I just beat my infinite ammo run of Resident Evil 7 the other night. I was like, fuck everything. All I want to do is play video games that I want to play. And I played Resident Evil 7, finished my infinite ammo run, started my speed run. Because now it's going to take me a bunch of practice runs to get my speed run down under 4 hours. Because I've never completed the game in less than 11, and I wanted during the month of October, definitely do a perfect live stream of that under 4 hours. I need to finally do that. Yeah, one house. Fuck you. Sorry, I had to.
Look, we're just gonna have to agree to disagree, man. Because I don't think Bravo Team had more or looked better or was more going on. I really feel like in every single way I feel more immersed, and I actually looked around in Battlewake. Wow, this looks really good.
Yeah.
And in Bravo Team, it's just these little shitty corridors, and I can almost see because there's like a couple layers to each level. Like one you're on a street, the other one you're below the street.
You're in a police station.
But for like 5 seconds, and it's so small, and you're in that police station for literally
5 seconds. It's like a whole stage.
Okay, Brian, seriously, I feel like at a certain point you're kind of playing devil's advocate or like a bad faith argument here too hard because you don't like those games. You would never recommend those games.
No.
So to put them on a comparison level and say, well, this game does way more, so it's worth talking about. You like Battlewake. We all like Battlewake. We had a good time with it. I think we're wasting our time and just like spinning our wheels, yelling at each other if we're trying to say in some way that fucking Bravo Team has anything to do with this conversation.
I just want to call a spade,
other than being a game nobody likes.
It's fine. It's fine to shit on a Bravo Team because it's not a fun game. It's a boring ass game, right? But man, but there are certain things that are tough to argue.
But for every person playing a game, I think what matters is everything you said before that but, and nothing you say after that but. If a game's not fun, who the fuck cares? Nobody wants to play it.
Right, well, that's
If it's fun,
that's a totally
then you
different
can
conversation.
deal with it.
It's a totally
Well,
different
but
conversation.
If you talked about comparing apples to oranges earlier and not doing that.
I'm comparing dev team to dev team. That's what I'm doing.
No, this is apples to oranges like crazy, dude. Like they're not even in the same ballpark.
It's a military shooter versus a pirate thing. Like I could see comparing Bout of Blood. I could see comparing that and saying like, you know, compare and contrast the levels and stuff. But yeah, I mean,
I'm comparing a dev team to a dev team. Their abilities and what they're trying to do versus another dev team and their abilities and what they're trying to do. I'm not even comparing games. Just comparing teams. So what do you guys?
I mean,
playing?
Supermassive took a shit. Supermassive fell off the side of a cliff, and they've just been shitting the
all
bed
I
the whole
love,
way down.
guys.
They're doing pretty good now, right?
No, Man of Medan got pretty mixed reviews, and everybody said it was sort of clunky and not that well made, and it's way worse than Until Dawn, the original one. But it's just like trying to do the same thing again. So I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think that they're on a good roll at all. I think they're still terrible.
I think they're crawling back up from their PSVR.
Hit that like button, and you just sit there and watch. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, can we move on?
Oh yeah, I think we've definitely talked about Battlewake to death.
Yeah, I love the game. I'm looking forward to your review. I know you're going to probably point out some things that I feel differently about. But that's
the conclusion of the review, as I've been writing during this conversation, is don't get me wrong, Battlewake is still a fun game, but it fucking got nothing on Bravo Team.
I'm gonna go jump out a window. I need a window to jump out of real quick because that would feel better than having to play Bravo Team or even talk about the game again.
AJ's gonna go join Davestation's channel.
Quit.
Yeah,
he's like, do you need another editor?
Yeah, seriously, take me in, Dave. Take me in. No, I'm kidding. All
right, so basically, I mean, that was the only game that came out this week. So that's kind of it. What, you guys been playing anything other than Battlewake? Just because it's new.
I have.
What have you been playing?
I've been playing. So I went back and I started playing a bunch of games for like 20 minutes at a time, and these are all games that I haven't played in forever. One of them being Thumper, and I actually plan to do a live stream of Thumper really soon. Just to kind of revisit it and say, hey, this game, I know it's been a while if you've played it, whatever, but it's an amazing game, man. And I actually originally played it on the OG. It wasn't one of the first ones I played, but it was definitely one of the first like games to kind of like really like visually attack me. It is called like a rhythm violence game. So,
I love it.
It's such a good game. It's so much fun, and it's something that's great. I think that's great for people starting out with a PSVR to play, because it doesn't really make you go around, deal with motion sickness, anything like that. But wow, the game looks fantastic on the Pro. It sounds amazing with headphones, and it's just a lot of fun. And it's really simple, but really, eventually, really challenging gameplay. What are they saying in here?
Dave and I are continuing the argument in the chat.
I accidentally misspelled your name, but I'm going to start calling you Bryab now because that's Bryab.
That's cool.
Hey, what's up, John Riggs? Just joined the chat. How's it going, John?
What's up, John?
What's going on, John? God. Yeah. No, dude, Thumper's great, and especially with all these other kind of paint by numbers rhythm games coming out. Like, oh, we've seen this before in a different version. We've seen this before in a different style. Thumper's an original. And it continues to be original. It doesn't seem like anyone else has really copied it.
Yeah,
it's stunning visually.
I've never seen a rhythm game that goes for what Thumper is going for. The music isn't like catchy pop fun stuff where you have to memorize certain patterns. It's a lot of call and response, and it's very like dark and almost like tribal sounding sometimes. Like, I don't know. It's very, like you said, rhythm violence. It's not metal exactly, but it sure as hell feels like it. When you look at these bosses and stuff. And just that first time you come over the crest and you see the giant flaming skull guy off in the distance and stuff. It's such a well done game. I really, really like that one.
Yeah, and what a strange concept. Yeah. I'm going to be a chrome beetle racing through hell. I mean, who sat down and was like, this is a great idea?
It's the guy from that noise rock band Lightning Bolt is the guy who came up with that. And makes sense. I mean, if I was making a rhythm game, but I was from a noise rock band, Thumper is the game I would make. So it's really cool. I like it.
Yeah. What else have you been playing, AJ? Another 20-minute diversion for you.
I actually went back and played some Lord and Savior Astrobot, and wow, that game just graphically just blows my mind. I mean, the rocks, the water, everything about that game. I'm just like, why can't every PSVR game look like this?
Sony money, baby. Sony money.
Sony money.
That's
and
it.
they know their console better than anybody else. They've been working with it since the beginning.
Yeah.
True, but my God, man, Astrobot is just still so much fun and still looks amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I love platformers. Like I said, that's why I'm really excited for the Carly and the Reaperman game, because, you know, it's going to be something similar, but in an underworld. Played some more Beat Saber. All the cats were taunting me. They're like, "Hey, you play Beat Saber yet?" I was like, "Fine, I'll play Beat Saber." And so I set a new Expert Plus high score for you, cats. Welcome. I'm sure it's already been beaten by now because they're insanely good. And yeah, I mean, they are. But yeah, I love the new songs in Beat Saber. I'll tell you what, I figured out what I look for in Beat Saber now in the songs, because obviously I don't get my heavy metal, classical music, or whatever I want from it musically. But these songs are a nice balance of challenge, groove, and the music itself. And those are the three key things I'm going to be looking for now on in Beat Saber updates and everything. Of course, the colors update is amazing. But I think why Monster Cat is my favorite is because it's the perfect balance of challenge and like make you move, make you dance kind of deal. And the songs have a lot of emotion to them. These newest songs have a lot of emotions. The last pack with the Camila or whatever didn't really have a lot of emotion. They went for more of like a kind of thing that, or I don't even know what the genre is really, but and then they were insanely difficult, and I was like, I have no desire to like learn these all the way and stuff. They're just challenging. There's nothing else. They're not fun to dance to. I don't really care for the music, but this last pack I thought was perfect in terms of maybe not perfect, like I think Monster Cat is probably perfect, but almost perfect, but yeah, and then soon going to be playing some more. I want to check out Borderlands 2 DLC. That just came out.
Can I stop you real quick? Because I want to issue a correction publicly here. Because when we first talked about the Beat Saber DLC here, I was not that positive. I said some things along the lines of, this just sounds like the same old stuff. Nothing here stands out to me.
Right. And
I didn't have that much fun playing them. And we said, will they grow on you? Will they not grow on you? And kind of decided they won't. But I played it more, and they definitely grew on me. And once you get to expert and stuff, the mapping is very fun to play. And sometimes for me, that's what activates my interest in a song, is like when I get to that expert and I feel how I'm moving to the music in a certain way. And I'm like, this is fucking awesome. So I had just played them on like hard to prep, because I had like 30 minutes before the show to play them. But yeah, no, people are saying Reason for Living in the chat. I love that song. That's a really cool song.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
So
you're issuing a retraction.
Essentially, what I'm saying is I changed my mind. I said something more negative than I currently feel like is accurate. So I just want to say it's good. I like it. And it was free. So what the fuck can I say? So yeah, that's all.
I admittedly still need to spend quite a bit more time with the new songs. They haven't grown on me yet. I'm excited for them to. Yeah.
Just play for like an hour on expert. You'll be fine.
For these, I had to go back because I had taken a Saber. I actually had to start for Expert Plus, start on 50%, just like I do in the tips video. Start on 50%, play it through, start on 60%, play it through. It was kind of driving me nuts by the end of it, but the payoff was that now I can just play them through. So
nice.
I still haven't beaten all of them on expert either. Like I think during my stream I got like 2 or 3 of them down, but there's still like just the right amount of challenge where it's like I know I could do this if I keep trying, but I can't beat it the very first time. So
yeah, I'm with Dylan Gladstone on this. I love Beat Saber too, but I'm also terrible at it. The hard level, I'm at this point where I can beat every song on hard pretty easily. But man, expert is like too much of a jump. So anytime I do play, I have to play on expert, but like knock the speed down a little bit to actually be able to complete it. So hopefully that'll pay off eventually, and I'll like get the patterns down. But man, I don't play it enough to really to say that that's going to be a thing anytime soon. Oh, well.
I just want more metal.
There we go.
Somebody just showed up, Aaron Dalbuldak. I don't know how you say that.
Hey, Aaron.
He said Battlewake, ? We already talked about it at length if you want to go back and watch it, but the short version is...
It's somewhat better than Bravo Team, yeah.
We do like it. I think it's worth $25.
It's totally worth $25. It's a great game. Everybody loves it.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah, I think 30 is maybe a little bit...
It's a stretch.
I wouldn't be upset if I had paid 30.
I wouldn't be
like
upset with it. But yeah, I really do think now is the best time to get while it has the discount. And then, there's going to be some updates most likely that are going to make it even better. So I think grab it while it's 25 if you plan on getting it at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, we start the stream at 6 p.m. Eastern.
It is 8:23 now.
No, I'm just like, tune in earlier next time. God damn it. Don't make us repeat ourselves.
People have obligations. Life stuff happens, whatever.
I'm kidding.
But yeah,
thank you for joining.
How's the DLC that you got to try out, Dave?
So I didn't get to try much, but I do want to tell people about my experience so it's easier for you guys to find it. So I sort of made the mistake of having started a new game on True Vault Hunter mode, and I was very early in it. So I didn't have fast travel just like ready to go. I hadn't gotten to fast traveling yet. So the way the DLC works is it doesn't present it to you. It doesn't say like, here's where you go, or here's how to activate this mission. You have to warp with the fast travel to a specific location, and then it starts the DLC chapter. So by the time I actually got to try it, I only got to play for like 15 minutes on one of the DLC chapters, but it was really cool. There's a whole new environment for each one. Like there's this kind of seaside town called Oasis, or it's kind of tropical. I don't know if it's by the sea, but it was cool. It was a new area, new missions to do and stuff. So you can't really knock free content.
Of areas and stuff and enemy types in that game, they've really nailed it. There's always some kind of new area, some kind of new enemy.
Yeah, and I actually want to say with this one, I was fighting pirates in the DLC that I was trying, which I've never seen a pirate in this game before. So I think each one has its own set of unique enemies as well,
right? Which
is cool. And they gave me 15 golden keys when I started, just for nothing, and those are really good because you get good loot and weapons off of that. But yeah, just know that like if you load up the DLC, you're going to go into the game. It's not going to tell you where to go to get it. Online, I found a list of the 4 locations you warp to start each one. Oasis is one. There's a few other ones, but it's a little hard to track down. But once you get into it, it seems pretty cool. I did notice, people were always saying at the beginning when it came out about that shuddering kind of jittery thing that made people feel weird.
I even forgot about it.
I had too, but then when I played it for the first time in a long time, I actually did notice that, and I was kind of like, I hadn't eaten anything, and I was kind of tired, I had a headache and stuff, so I got a little sick, like not full-on sick, but I stopped a couple times. So that is an issue. I guess I always just overlooked it because I was so used to, I played it for like 30 hours. You start not noticing it anymore. But coming back to it fresh, I did notice that. So it's still an issue. I don't know if it's more so with the DLC.
It's always been there. It just didn't bother me. I couldn't be bothered by it. That game, for as big as that game is, like besides that, I don't think I ran into a single bug yet.
No, I agree with you. It's just that kind of hiccuping, glitching.
Yeah. So the way the game performs and everything is awesome. And you can switch between the controllers just on the fly, and even the move controllers feel really good.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it seems like one of those things, kind of like No Man's Sky being blurry. People say, oh, this sucks, this is terrible, but then they play it for 20 minutes and they don't notice anymore. And I think with the same thing with Borderlands, when I was playing it like hardcore, I didn't even notice that shit because I was so used to it. And now when you come back to it for a 30-minute session, it's sort of like, okay, I get what you're saying. So.
Oh, wow.
But have either of you guys,
Home Sweet Home?
Well, have either of you guys tried the DLC yet?
Not enough yet. No, just scratch the surface on it, like you said. Same deal.
Yeah.
But I'm really, really excited to jump in because I hear all the time that the DLC is most people's favorite part of Borderlands 2.
Right.
So
People love that.
I love what I'm hearing though. I've seen some of the gameplay, seen some of the Paradise stuff you're talking about. So yeah, I really can't wait to dive into that. And at some point, I want to start farming for weapons, legendary weapons, and really sink my claws into that game. Because right now I've only just pretty much finished the story, and that's it.
Yeah.
Are you just like baiting people in the chat, Dave? What are you doing, man?
What are you talking about?
You're just like, sucks
I'm not
for
baiting
you.
anybody.
Sucks for you.
Well, he said without co-op, I can't play Borderlands. Fuck that. And I'm saying I like you, 5XL. I agree with you on a lot of things about Firewall mostly, but with this, I just can't agree with you there. It's a fun-ass game. It's worth playing.
Well, it depends. If you played it before with a bunch of co-op.
I did, actually. I played it a bunch co-op before the VR. But
okay, never mind. I'm not
like
gonna
hours and hours. I have one of my best friends, like, he has certain games that he plays. It's either Rocket League for 2 or 3 years. That was the only game he played. Now it's Apex Legends. But he's the Borderlands guy. So when Borderlands comes out tomorrow, that's all he's going to be playing for like 3 months. So when I go to his house, we're going to fucking play co-op flat screen Borderlands 3. But I've definitely played co-op before, but it's such a full-on fun game in single player. Anyways,
it looks really good too.
Don't overlook it just because you want the co-op. Like,
I think you're kind of right. Unless you just really like co-op shooters. I mean, you know, everybody's got different tastes.
Yeah.
And when there's all these games that play like we never played before, it's so hard to standardize some of these across a platform that's so different. It's not like nothing is the same. So, yeah, it really depends on what that individual is looking for. The kind of experience, but fantastic game overall, absolutely.
Dave, is your cat meowing in the background, or am I hallucinating?
Yeah, I need to let him in. No, I need to let him in. I keep hearing him sort of.
I'm hearing him through your microphone.
I hear him through the door. And he's outside right now. He's not even in the house.
And I've been sleeping
really
well. I haven't been sleeping well. I'm concerned that I was hallucinating, that I'm like dreaming of game cats.
I heard it too.
I kept doing.
I'll be right back.
I feel so much better now. I was looking around my apartment, being like, did I get a cat and forgot? Like, is he hungry? Does he need to poop? I don't know. You know, it's fucking.
Bryan, what have you been playing?
Like I said, most of what I played was sirens on my end. Who's off for kitty fitchy? Who's off?
Hi, kitty.
So here's the thing. Obviously, not only did I play a bunch of Battlewake this week, obviously I want to get that review out sooner rather than later. But also I finished my infinite ammo run of Resident Evil 7. And that for me, that was an accomplishment, because even with infinite ammo playing on Madhouse, I mean, I died so many times for stupid reasons. And so in my head, I was trying to, I can't watch this Borderlands trailer while I talk about Resident Evil 7. Let me take care of that real quick. There we go. So in my head, I'm trying to like sort of organize why I'm dying and trying to figure out, okay, when I play this again on my infinite ammo run, here's the combination to this safe over here. I got to flip these paintings in this order and, grab this stuff and run out and try and remember where all the coin. It's just nonstop prepping for that speed run. And I know I'm just going to take me a couple tries to get the speed run down. So I'm excited for that. With October right around the corner, we've got some plans for Scary Game Month. We're hopefully have some new scary games to play, but as far as Why We Love is concerned, we're going to have some like Why We Love episodes about scary games, and then I'm going to be doing a top 10 scary games. Obviously, probably every channel on the face of the planet is doing that, and then of course doing the speed run, and I think that'll be a pretty awesome October for me.
Sounds like one.
Yeah, for sure. And then sort of a thing for me personally is that you guys know I like digital novels, and I've been wanting to play through Tokyo Chronos. So I've just started my Tokyo Chronos playthrough, and I'd like to get through that before the weekend, and hopefully have a review out for that next week. So that's pretty much all I'm working on right now.
Yeah, I've also been playing No Man's Sky with the cat.
Of course.
And of course we have next week. Everybody, we have Groundhog's Day and Witching Tower, I think, are both next week. And then we're supposed to get that Rush VR update at any moment. And when we get that, of course, the cats are going to be all over it because we love that game.
Right.
So, yeah, we got a busy week ahead, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm actually really excited to play Witching Tower and Groundhog Day is like, Bill Murray's like one of my favorite actors. So I suggest watching the movie first.
Yeah, it sounds to be It's kind of like a pseudo sequel, right? So I would say definitely watch the movie first if you haven't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just a tip that I heard from a good buddy.
All right. So I don't know. Does that pretty much do it for another episode?
That does.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you for all the Game Cats who hung out and participated in the chat or just watched the show. You don't have to participate in the chat to enjoy the show, I hope. So thank you guys very much. Thank you for all the donations. As always, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go over to PSVR Underground, subscribe to AJ's personal channel. Make sure you go over to Davestation VR. And what's the new one? What's the new channel?
You don't have to go to that.
Why
It's
not?
not for.
Who
These
knows?
are niche things. I
Whatever.
don't think there's a huge overlap between people who like mainly this one Japanese band that I really liked in high school and still like, and VR. But anyways, it's called Delayed Brain if you want to look at it. You don't have to look at it. Bryan is really pushing this.
Hey,
but
well, why
don't
not?
listen to him.
We like to even non-video game stuff. I think we like to tell people what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like I picked up my guitar recently this week, and I got
Cool.
I got to the point where I was like, man, I missed this to the point where if I don't keep playing, I'm going to be real sad. I think I'm going to get back into writing new music and getting into recording new music, and so
that's really cool, man.
I think this is we want to like be advocating everybody's personal ventures as well. So,
Well, I appreciate that. I'm a little sheepish about my self promo kind of thing. So, but I appreciate that. Yeah.
Battlewake Discord invites going out. Go to the Discord. Join the Discord down below. Join some Battlewake, some No Man's Sky.
Yep. Make sure you hit us up on patreon.com/withoutparole games for $1 or more every single month. If you like your content, obviously you find that's where you hear everything about the internal happenings of the channel first and foremost. So that's where we found out about Dez first. Also, real quick here, I know for anyone who joined the stream late, want to give a shout out to, how do you pronounce the name again, Dave? Joao.
Joao.
I want to shout out to Joao Portugal, who won the European version of what game did we give away this week? Waltz of the Wizard. and also shout out to MZ Batman who won the North American version of Waltz of the Wizard.
He's Batman.
One of the many Batmans we have in our community.
Many Batmans. Make sure you click that Discord link and join the never-ending conversation.
You think PSVR is your ally? Wow.
Is this your Bane? Is this your Bane?
Molded by it.
I want to kill myself.
What are we going to be playing tonight, gentlemen?
Let him finish the whole show like this.
Time
Like
to
when
go
you roll
home.
the end credits, let him just.
I'll
riff on
do all the names.
The worst part was when he was doing it, he was looking into the camera, and I couldn't look him in the eye while he was doing it. It was just weirded me out too much. I couldn't
I'll
handle
do it for the. I'll do it for the outro.
Oh my god.
Anyway, thank you everybody. We appreciate you. Yeah, like I said, join that Discord. Click the Discord link. Be part of the never-ending conversation over there, and make sure you consider joining us at Six Flags New England on October 19th. Where we're going to have the first ever 2019 Game Cat meetup. It's going to be a whole lot of fun.
And real quick shout out just for anybody out there who lives in the U.S. If you would want to do your citizen's duty, right now there is a fucking debate going on TV being broadcast, and it's good to see who might be our president, see what they think about stuff, see them talk to each other and all that. So I'm going to do that right as soon as this is done. Started at 8:00. I think it goes till 11. So just as a sort of general hey people thing, it's going on. So check it out.
Smart move. Right on. All right. Well, thank you, Davestation. Thank you, AJ. I'm Bryan, and we'll see you. We'll see you next week. We love you all.
Yeah. Let's get that Bane voice.
Oh, yes. Look at all these pretty game cats in the chat. Thank you so much, Chief VR the Gamer.
Oh, my God.
97 Skynet, thank you for joining. Joystick Guru. Kevgrit. Sorry. Kevgrit. The time is your reckoning. G-Rock Muse. Billy Goat Catfish.
Did you see that on the Discord? We decided that Immortal Legacy 2 is going to be Cookie Pie. We're going to play as Cookie Pie. That's what we decided on the Discord.
I love it. Yeah. I hope they're listening to us.
Yeah. They don't listen to us.
Kev Gret says Bane impersonator is not in your future.
What do you think of this, Kev?
Tyson. Fist bump to you.
I was waiting for that one. I was so fucking ready for that one. Kate Panic says that was Bane. I thought it was Yoda.
I can't hear myself. It's hard. I can't hear myself. If I could hear myself.
Cyberdot. Delirium Drew, the game cat. Leslie Winwood.
Try Yoda, actually. Give Yoda a shot. I want to hear Yoda.
Yoda, I cannot do.
That was better, actually.
I
don't
better
know.
than Bane, for sure.
That's better than Bane, for sure.
I don't know. If I could hear
You got the
myself.
intonation just right.
Thanks so much, both Paul. It's a real deal.
Don't thank Polish Paul. Goodbye, everybody.